Sweet. Well, we're all in place. And again, just as sort of a background, the idea is domains. We're here to play the Quiet Year. Again, we all have access to the Google Drive for the Quiet Year PDF. It's a pretty short PDF for a game, I feel. This is a map drawing game. We're going to be collectively exploring the struggles of community trying to rebuild after the collapse of civilization. That sort of idea we're going to keep intact, right? Something around us has collapsed and we're coming together to build a new community. Um, that we're kind of holding intact. So we're going to talk about first like landscapes and other things that are happening on our map around us, an area that we are interested in playing in. We have all of the supplies. As far as there is one supply called contempt tokens that I don't have in roll 20. We'll just keep like notes of that. If you have like a piece of paper or just like a coin around you to act as contempt token, we'll talk about what those exactly do for the game, but that's really the only I j- I didn't feel a need to have an actual token for it. We could just like put a little tally and know that you have one. Um Yes, we have our blank map. We have in this roll 20, there is access to uh, the four seasons and what they bring, the reference card for your turns. And then domain one in the handouts, there is projects, abundances, names, and scarcities where we'll put all of the information for what we're doing, just so that we can all keep up with the same info and we know what we're looking at. As far as the opening story goes, I have a little bit slightly differently worded here. So for a long time, this country has been devastated by calamity. As the smokestacks die down and the troops halt their conquest, we are left with a year of relative peace. One quiet year with which to build our community up and learn how to work together, how to support one another and prosper before the ancient rumblings of whatever the calamity disturbed rises up and lays waste to our land. We may survive, we may perish. This is where the game will end, but we don't know about that yet. What we know right now is in this moment, there is an opportunity to build something. And that is the structure, right? That's the structure of what we're playing. We're trying to make this time matter for these people. We have our blank map for where we'll be drawing all of our stuff. This map is meant to be symbolic, right? We're trying not to use words, but to use pictures that represent these words to the best of our ability. We're using roll 20 and not even drawing with our hands, so like no one's gonna be good at drawing. We're just making a fun map together. Um, Yes. Our four suits, which again we're playing with the pages, so we have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Things will get increasingly difficult for our community over this time, and how we deal with it will be up to us and how we think our community deals with it. On each of the turns, you are stored sort of the one in control of that week. This game tries to edge out the peanut gallery as much as possible. In that it leaves an opportunity for what is called an end of the week discussion. As a part of each of your turns, you have basically two actions. One is drawing a card, which will be rolling a dice and reading off the list. That advances time a little bit. We talk about what happens in that time that advances, and then you have an action to take, which is discover something new on the map. We talk about what that is, and you basically talk about what that is and what that means for us. You can hold a discussion in which we choose a topic that the community wants to talk about. This is really the time in which we can talk about things that are going on in the game, but we need to try to do it from point of view of the community members.
Mm.
And that is a discussion. It starts with either a statement from the person starting the discussion. If they make a statement like, I don't like that this is happening, that's what they get. They get a statement. Everyone gets one statement. If they ask a question, everyone gets one response, and then they get a statement to wrap it up. So it's just sort of
Nice.
like almost like a town hall meeting. Or you can start a new project in which we will create a timer on the board for how long that project takes to complete. Usually that's like the building of a building, the discovery of something new, analyzing a, I don't know, a foreign substance, something like that. Usually starts a timer that will take any number of weeks to complete, up to what you think makes sense. Hold a discussion. Yes, tied to the situation on the map. When it ends, mark the situation that is attached to it with a small dot. Just to know, I guess, that we've talked about something there. Start a project, updating resources. So, let me go through the rest of this real quick, make sure. Yes. If ever you take an action on your turn that other players don't agree with, you say that you think the community would go in this way, but I think that the community would do something different. Your action still goes through. It is your choice as to what happens on your turn. I just take something called a contempt token, which we, mark a little tally. I have one contempt token. Let's see. These can be used in two ways. Mostly they act as a social signifier to signify like how much contempt is going on in our community at any given moment, how the community is getting along with these decisions. But they also, if you ever want to act selfishly to the known detriment of the community, you can discard a contempt token to justify your behavior. Yes, this will often, it says, trigger others taking contempt tokens in response, right? Because you're acting selfishly. If someone
Mhm.
else does something that you greatly support that would mend relationships and rebuild trust, you can discard a contempt token as well to get rid of them without having to take a selfish action. I don't think that there's anything huge if we just have them into the end of the game. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just how much sort of,
They just die angry.
yeah, how much hate we have within our community.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's a lot of it is the game sort of being designed to um it is encouraging strife amongst the townspeople. Because I don't know if anyone's looked at the card draws yet, but often there are two different, yeah, I mean every time there are different options when you draw a card, and often one of them is a sort of a positive thing and one of them is sort of a negative thing. That gets less and less to be the case the further into the game you get. So if people are paying attention to contempt, there are a lot of ways to stick it to projects that have done you wrong the further into the game that you get.
Mm.
very true.
Good to
Very
know.
true. Um,
It's interesting because the game, we're supposed to work together as players, but the game is doing its darndest to not make that happen.
Ooh, I like it.
very true. Very true.
Very, very real politic.
So, for the longevity of a series that is created off of a game that is consistently repetitive, as a concept, we've come up with, I've done a little bit of thinking for this, and in which case, pretty much every time we play, we're going to be playing in the town called Borous. At least that will be the community name that we have come together to build up. Conceptually, across the series, it would be like how this community of Borous responds over the multitude of this happening to them, right? I guess conceptually it's happening to the
The
same
worst
group
lucky city in the
across
world.
a group, or across like the multiverse, right? Every time this group comes together, it ends like this. And maybe part of our discovery in this year is why. Maybe our part of discovery in this year is not. Maybe it's just us living through this year. Maybe we don't know anything about that or discover anything about that. But it does exist, and I think it's something that we as players know. Um, yeah. So to begin, we must establish some facts about the community and what the surroundings are. We're going to begin with a brief discussion of the general terrain and habitat. Um, so I think that the best way for this to go is first we kind of I think we can discuss as a group. I think what habitat, what kind of terrain interests you folks most? Do we want access to ocean? Do we want rivers? Do we want a desert? What kind of habitat? We can also talk about like fanciful, other planet kind of habitats. Um, yeah. Dakota, you're the newest member to our group here. Why don't you start us off? What kind of habitats do you think interest you most for our exploration here?
Like, are we thinking like for a settlement or just like anything?
I think I like the surrounding area where our group has come together to decide to build this community. You know, maybe that is maybe that is a desert with no resources. That could just be where they find themselves.
I'm thinking of like a cove, like a small little inland, not inland, but like on kind of on the coast. It's a cove. It has like a kind of naturally protected harbor area. Um, Maybe some like hills off to the east or something like that.
Okay. So I think with that start, why don't you give us on this totally blank space a coastline with that cove on it?
Oh shit.
That way we begin to build this structure out. And since you added it in as well, show us where those hills are in relation to this cove somehow. Feel free to use
Uh,
different colors.
how big should I be?
I was about to say, for scale wise, the book recommended that for reference, our settlement itself should take up about a third of the quote unquote page.
Oh wow. Okay, so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
I
little
thought it would
zoomed
be
in
more
on the
zoomed
map.
out than that too.
We can zoom it out a little bit more if we want to talk about a little bit more of the surrounding area.
It just like seemed like it would be that way from the way it was described. It seemed higher level
Yeah.
4K versus RTS.
Sure. Okay, so we know we're on a coast. We know that there's a little bit of hilly terrain inland. Let's see if there's any other easy starters in this.
It's like an angry bird.
Just shut up. I will not have my artistic ability impugned like
I
this.
didn't say that's a bad thing. I love birds.
Can we get like the eye of the bird above it?
There you go. I got you. I didn't even mean to make it an eye, but it does look like he's insane, doesn't
Is that
it?
our hills? Is that the hills to the north of this inlet?
That's a
the
hill.
That's a hill. Perfect. Okay, so we have a cove and some hills. Gabe, why don't you add some land to this map? What do you think goes a little bit more probably inland of this cove?
This cove is on the edge of just an island.
I mean, it could be. It could be the other end of this cove could be just an island we found ourselves on. Maybe we're marooned. Maybe there was a prior event of boat living where we found ourselves marooned on a... I think you're muted. Or maybe you didn't actually say anything.
Mike might be muted.
Oh, it muted itself.
Oh.
That's exciting.
Love that for you.
Yeah, I love that for me too. I think that further past the hills, like once you get to the top of these hills, you can see in the distance a theoretically impenetrable jungle.
Ooh.
We don't know if it's actually impenetrable because no one's tried to journey through it, but it's a thick jungle out past these hills. How I represent that is
We're gonna find
a
out.
question.
We're
The
gonna
probably
find out.
impenetrable jungle.
I mean, that could be very important with where we find ourselves on a coast. I feel like the access to supplies could lie somewhere in that jungle.
My God, look at the cross hatching on this man.
I
What the
know,
fuck?
it's absolutely stellar.
It's
I love the
insane.
idea that the human race, the people who looked at Everest and were like, I'm going to climb that just because I can, look at this jungle and are like, nah, that's probably impossible.
Too much. Too much.
Fuck it.
I
Maybe
mean, with
tomorrow.
Everest, you're dealing with like the mountain, the cold, and the wind. With a jungle, you're dealing with like disease, animals, wet that we don't understand.
Probably
You get
Namor
diseases
as
from
well.
being too cold, though. Also, lack of oxygen. I think I'll
Mm.
take that over pretty much any animal. I have to be able to breathe, Em.
That's true. That is very true. That is very true.
Constantly raining in this jungle.
Constantly raining in this jungle. Is this
This jungle's in
jungle
Washington.
is this a patch of jungle or does it extend further into our land? I know that we're just getting started drawing. This is just me questioning.
I don't think it extends further west, but I do think it extends further south.
Okay. Would you like to add in the lower part of this coast too to see like how that wraps around for us?
Um,
Lily, what do you think lies to the north of the jungles and the hills up here? Or anywhere else on the map. That's where my focus was. But of course, if you have a different idea for like maybe what's going on and maybe in some water or more with the hills, feel free, of course. Or just
So I think
yeah.
that this. I didn't realize I could pick the color. Fix that so that we have a consistent coast. No, it's pink again. It's defaulting.
perfect. It means something.
So I think this comes up.
Does that rainforest extend all the way to the coast, to the south, Gabe?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Cool. Feel like you probably chose this screen.
I chose the very bottom corner green.
Yeah. That way we know. I did bad lines, so if I want to fix them, please feel free to let me know.
It's only bad lines out here, friend.
Awesome. That's where I feel. That's how I feel as well. When you talked about this cove, Dakota, are we talking like us camping like around here? Like right on that cove? I drew a little X.
Give me just a second. Sorry, I'm doing important work. Oh shit, I fucked it up. Hold on. Yeah, that's kind of what I was picturing.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna delete that X, but mostly I just wanted to make sure.
Oh no.
Okay,
Totally.
so north of the cove where our settlement is a ship that we crashed during a previous
Ooh.
X what? What's the term?
Expedition?
Expedition. Yeah, there. Now we're talking. It crashed on its way back because a storm swept it too far northward from the cove, and it crashed into this cliffside, which we use. Is this a quarry? A quarry. It's a very rocky area north. That's why I used gray to draw those circles, because gray means rocks.
No, I do like this. All right, so there's sort of a shipwrecky cove. Do we think that the currents around this cove area are pushing up against this rock a lot? So this is like maybe a dangerous boating area maybe we've discovered off of that? Some fast current issues?
Probably, I think the ship is kind of like, because they use it for a quarry. So I don't think that the water's actually actively reaching there often. So I think this is kind of like a really bad storm could wash something up there,
Okay.
and now there's like a stranded ship just kind of next to the quarry because what are you gonna move a boat? They're freaking heavy. We're at a settlement.
No, sure. I like this.
And it's kind of a sheer cliff down to that
Okay.
from the hills.
I like that view. Then I will take our coast. Let's see. Freehand black, it looks like, for the coastline. I'll take our coast up a little north, and then it'll cut in, and we know we have some land over that way. I'll even chop off just this weird corner to say that, like, our island is... It's feeling more like an island, or it's just the very edge of a larger space, but I don't know. Our structure is feeling a little bit more like an island. For now, though, what I'll say is that there is a whirlpool. We've seen it off, and I'll put it over here. We've seen it. We can see it out there. I think maybe we, in some of our very first few attempts to create any form of boating, we might have lost a boat to this whirlpool. Yeah, it's pretty bad out there, I think, right around that whirlpool, which is hard for us to exit this cove on boat. So we might need to, if we want to take that route away from here, we might need to figure out some solution there. But that, I think, is a
But
good start for our island. What's up?
it also means we're virtually unassailable by Navy
True.
with this whirlpool out here. The whirlpool in the cove, like, there's no chance of a sizable fleet of ships getting through here.
I do agree. I do agree. We can't be hit by a large force at any given time.
And with the impenetrable jungle, probably, and the horrible cliffs to the north of shipwrecks,
We're pretty
we're in a
protected if we
very
don't want to
defensive
leave.
spot.
Hard to leave if we
um,
want to, but
we could have a real Garden of Eden situation on our hands.
next we want to declare an unimportant resource for the community. Choosing a resource makes it important if it wasn't already. Choosing a resource makes it important if it wasn't already. Let's see. Choose one of those resources to be in abundance.
We're basically gonna end up with 4 resources because we each pick one. One of them we'll pick to be something that we have a shitload of, and the other 3 we have that are scarcity. But all 4 are things that our citizens want and need. That's why they're important.
Got it.
Love that. So perfect. So we're gonna pick one resource each. Let's take it back to the top of the list. Dakota, what is a resource that is important to our community here in this cove?
Anything?
It could be anything. Yeah, it could literally be from like camaraderie. That can be a resource. Like if we're working well together, it can be stone. It can be food. It can be, any sort of that can really exist as one of these abundancies or scarcities.
Seawater.
Abundancy. That's what I vote for.
I'll say more wishes. I'll say we have we have like a kind of like flax that is as tough as steel here. So it's super light. It's super light,
plant, right?
but it's a plant, yeah. So you can fold it, you can turn it into like fabric. So we can have clothes that are like steel armor, but weigh like shirts and pants
Sure.
and
Okay.
tunics
So
and stuff.
one of the resources in our area is flax steel. I like
Blade
this.
flax.
Plant flax.
I like this. I like this.
Flax is already a plant.
Gabe, what is another resource in our area? We don't need to have abundance or scarce of it right now, just a resource that is important to our community.
I think that our community has existed in this space, in this cove, for a good while, and the pressures of survival and the environment have created yeah, no, I don't know how to say it. They worship the whirlpool, is what I'm saying.
So a
I'm
resource is
gonna
maybe like religion?
our resource is faith.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically faith in the whirlpool.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck
Okay.
yes.
The whirlpool protects. The whirlpool
Mhm.
provides.
Mm-hmm.
Love this. Okay, so that's 2 resources: flax steel and faith in the whirlpool religion.
We sacrifice our boats to the great devourer,
Like the
That's
bad
good.
boats, right? We
so
don't
that
just
our
build up
so
a
that
new
our
good boat to
That's
send
what we
in.
tell
no
ourselves every
no
time we
no
send
no
one out
no
and it just gets sucked in. Yeah, that was on purpose.
the better the boat, the better our harvest will be.
Oh,
So true.
jeez. So true. Uh, Lily, what is another resource that is important to our community?
Based
So you might
whirlpool
be
bolts.
you might be asking yourself, how could this settlement that won't even approach the jungle making boats? What are they making the boats out of? Well, the reason that this quarry is such a steep cliff is because it's been mined through so much, because we have a deposit of stone that is waterproof but not airproof. So it absorbs air easily in its pores, but does not absorb any water. So we can easily carve it into flotation
Mm.
devices. And so we
Mm.
actually sail stone boats that are deceptively light.
I like this. So we have this sort of light stone, this air stone. I like that. I think honestly, my last resource for us is going to be a very basic one. I think it's going to be fresh water. I think it's something that our community has to fight for. In any given moment, because we have so much access to salt water. And without our willingness to move beyond maybe the area where this forest is, I don't know if we know we have any access to great fresh water without maybe collecting the rainfall that's falling on the forest. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, how we would do that, but I think fresh water, drinking
Can we
water.
draw like a little river from the jungle to the cove?
Uh, we might soon, but first, before we
That
do
later.
that,
Okay.
what we want to do is decide which of these 4, flax steel, whirlpool faith, airstone, or fresh water, we have in abundance to begin. Which one is our community just like rolling in?
I'm thinking the flax steel stands out to me the most, because I think the other ones all make the most sense to be scarcities. Like the whirlpool cult can be like kind of a contained problem that
Mm.
maybe some people think is weird, but like those people are still there. The fresh water you already said is kind of something that we need and is necessary, and the stone could be something that we've mined so much that it's hard for us to descend the cliff at this point.
Mm.
That's why we haven't moved the shipwreck.
I do like
I like that.
this. I do like this, and maybe the flax steel just sort of grows on its own around us. We've just
It's our
learned to
natural
use
product and
the
our
natural
one
environment.
win.
Okay. Okay. So an abundance of the flax steel, and a scarcity of fresh water. Oh no, stone and faith. I like that.
On it.
Perfect. I see that. That's amazing. I love that. Okay.
Never mind, we're atheists now.
Specifically in the Great Devourer.
Let's make.
None of us believe in the whirlpool.
I still believe in the whirlpool.
So Dakota, you're in charge of adding the representation of an abundance of flax steel on our map somewhere. The other
Oh, shit.
resources get scarcities, and we all also have to add on why they a representation of them being scarce. So I don't know what I'll do. I think I'll probably draw a pool. I think the representation of fresh water is that for right now, we only know of this little freshwater pool that exists. And it's going to be up here in the hills. We actually have to travel up to this freshwater pool in the hills.
Giving the birds some peach fuzz.
Listen, he hasn't shaved in a couple days. Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. I'm gonna do this cool little black and red circle as our community standing. Looks like the stone's already existent. Gabe, how do you add a scarcity of religion to our map, do you think? Is there maybe like a single temple of faith like out here on the beak where we would have to go to do that right now? Or maybe like because we give boats, so maybe there's a way down to the shipwrecked boat where they do their
I think it is. I think because I've said that the whirlpool faith is sort of connected to the flax steel harvest. I'm gonna put the whirlpool. Let me see. Make it thin. The whirlpool faith is just gonna be. That's not what I wanted.
I like that you put little dots at the end of all these blades of grass.
I'm still working on it. Give me like another hour or so.
Give me another hour. And then Lily, I feel
Okay.
like your initial representation does a really good job of representing that it's hard to get
I
down to
kind
that
of
stone.
tried to add a cliff wall.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of was already represented. Is that tiny gray building the temple, Gabe?
What tiny gray building?
There's
I made a very small whirlpool.
Oh, I see.
Right at the end.
Okay.
That is what that is. Good
I
job.
zoomed in on it. Yeah. I like it. Okay. Yeah. Great. Sweet. Okay, I think that is set up. Let me make sure, read here. Have everyone declare. Yep, we did that. Okay, so during each of the week, the following things happen. The active player rolls a dice and reads the relevant text out loud, resolve it, and follow the bold text. Usually it will resolve in some way of being represented on our map. Project...
Does the bird, to anybody else, kind of look like the bird Pope looking at a cinnamon roll?
What?
He hungry.
He's hung. Look, the boat appears like the little cross on his hat. This is obviously his eye.
It looks more like a grandma hat. Because it's like almost lampshady more than popey to me.
The Pope is just the first thing that came to my head. I'm not sold on like bird Pope or anything.
Well, that seems like your problem. If this is the first thing, you went bird Pope.
It does at least to me look like so far a turkey. Like if I had a kid draw a turkey
with like a pimple.
The giblet is the jungle.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
my god.
All right, so we'll do that follow text. Project dice are reduced by 1, and any finished projects are updated. They'll always be updated by the person who made the project, even if it's not your turn. If the project you made is finished, we'll talk about how that sits before we move on to the next part in that turn. The active player then chooses in taking an action, which is discovering a new thing, holding a discussion, or starting a project, which, yeah, I feel like are pretty self-explanatory at this point with what we've talked about, but if, we'll go through it slowly in the beginning. Spring is about like learning the game as well as learning our community.
Cool.
So, yes. Working on projects, covering something new, updating resources. At the start of the game, we have all these resources throughout play. We'll update to reflect when we feel appropriate. So that's not going to be an every turn thing, but if we feel it appropriate that we have a new resource, it could be a new thing entirely or something we have moves, then that's definitely part of the turn before it ends. Yeah. And I think that is roughly it.
Them's the setup.
Nice.
So from there, why don't we just keep the order that we've been going, which would be neither counterclockwise or clockwise based on my screen. Awesome. Good. I'm glad I did that. But we'll start then with Dakota. So in Roll20, if you type in \roll D13, roll space D13. It'll roll a D13 for you, and then I have the spring page up. So based on what you roll, we can just cross check it from there.
You got a 1.
You got a 1. That would be the ace. So if you open up in the handouts, there's spring. I just feel like it'll be easier for the person to roll to read it out
Yep.
loud for them too. So spring 1 would be ace.
Okay. So I get to pick one of these.
Yeah, read them both for us so that we
Okay.
know what's going on.
What group has the highest status in the community? What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Or are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common? I think I'm going to do the distinct family units in the community. I'm going to say that since our arrival in this area, that maybe like men were in shorter supply, so women took up a lot more like leadership roles in the community, and therefore men are actually like the caretakers of the family, and they will often like watch the children of the community sort of as more of like a whole. So like the whichever children are born kind of go into like the community group for whatever age group they're in, which is watched over by like a group of men, and then the women tend to form like more political or work units, so that the family units are more like it's more communal, and the work units are more matriarchal.
Okay, I like this. Okay. At this point,
represent that on the map.
well, yeah, I was gonna say at this
Oh
point,
shit!
as we do each thing, it's up to us whether we feel they need to be represented on the map, right? So like
Do it.
this, I feel like I'm definitely putting in the notes, but if you don't feel like there's a map representation of the women being in the sort of community running positions and the men being in the caretaker positions, then maybe that isn't noticeable on the map, but we know it in our community.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I could put that on the map.
Yeah. Okay. So
That would be a bit of an abstract
I feel so.
representation.
I feel as well. For the note, I put men tend to be caretakers while women run the day-to-day activities. Family life is communal, though.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Sweet. Then, okay, second part of your turn. We don't have any project clocks. We don't have anything to tick down. So the second part of your turn in our reference card, let me pull that up so I can get used to it as well. Would be an action. You can discover something new on the map, hold a discussion, or start a project. Start a project is something our community is working on to build, to discover, to be better at. Discover something new is a new thing on the map that, in much the way that we discovered this forest as we were building the map, you add something new that our community has learned about. You could hold a discussion, but I feel like especially at this stage, there's not so much to discuss. But if you feel like there is, of course, it's your turn.
I feel like how big is this this like mountain lake up here, or hill lake?
Yeah, I feel like it's not. I mean, I guess representatively it's as large as our space that we're taking up on the town, but I feel like it's not actually so big. Like if every member of the town went for a lake day, it would be nastily crowded.
Okay.
It's a little smaller than we want it to be, I think.
I kind of want to start a project to divert some of the water down in like a little stream to our town to help out with some of our fresh water problems.
Okay. So almost like maybe like a creek digging project?
Yeah.
Making canals.
Mm-hmm. Not like we're trying to go with sort of like the natural terrain, so we're trying to use as many like nooks and crannies of the actual landscape as we can. We're just trying to dig away at some of the smaller bits.
Okay. The max a project should take in the game is 6 weeks. That is like the range they give us for the longest form of project. How long do you think that this will take our community to do based on that?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I would say it would probably take at least 3 weeks, probably 4.
Okay. Okay. I think I definitely, I mean, I think I agree that it could take us a little while to dig a thing. So I put a square on our map and I'm going to put a 4 in it and will affect at
Cool.
every turn for our creek building. And I'll also put a little circle next to it to signify what the project is in relation to, so we know. Cool. Cool. Yeah, and then so once that's done, you will reflect on the map and talk about how that sits now. But we got 4 weeks until that is done, and our community begins work on that creek to get us some fresh water. That is the end of your turn. On to Gabe. Gabe, roll us a D13. Why
Well,
didn't
that didn't work.
Why didn't that work?
Yeah, that seems
Together
like it should
slashed,
work.
I think.
Oh, it is the other slash. You did /. They should do the same
Interesting.
thing. They should do the same thing.
Agreed.
Two
They
of
serve
them.
only to show who looks like an idiot.
The 2 of spring. There's a large body of water on the map. Where is it? What does it look like? There's a giant man-made structure on the map. Where is it? Why is it abandoned?
All right. Which one you thinking pulls to you?
I mean, the giant man-made structure for sure.
I love a giant
That's-
man-made structure.
I think that's very fun.
I like this game because every single prompt so far has given me a lot of fun ideas.
What
Mhm.
the people playing the Quiet Year that I listened to, one of them said that they're jokingly, their least favorite part is that during everyone else's turns you hear the card and you're like, I know what I would do with that card right now. That's so cool.
Okay. So if you look down to the south coast, you see these 3 little islands here. Oh, nope, that's a drawing tool. That's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah. On these islands, it wasn't represented on the map, but it will be now. Each of these islands, there is the leg of a large freestanding structure. We cannot from the coast see what is sitting on top of, like, it's 3 legs and then like a flat platform. And from the coast we can't see what's on top of that platform.
Oil rig vibes.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Could be.
I like that. I like that. So this big kind of not freestanding because it is supported by legs, but this big standing platform just off of our coast and out of our sight to see like what's going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way for you to answer why is it abandoned?
There's no ladder.
We can't
That's
get
really
up there. From the
Yeah,
coast, we
like-
can't see a ladder.
They
I
finish
don't know.
building it and they're like, oh fuck, how do I get to oh man.
They died
don't
up there.
We're like, that
How did
jungle.
Rick and Josh wear
I know
Thor?
why we aren't using it. It's because there's no ladder.
We're like, that jungle can't go through it. That structure can't climb it.
We reach one problem,
we can't do these,
the end of a
we can't do
project.
these things until someone says we can, and no one
Yep.
has said we can yet.
Mhm. The Great
It's kinda
Devour.
like
I'm
a
gonna
whole
climb this
project.
thing.
We don't have any faith in ourselves. It's scarce.
The
Mhm.
whirlpool must tell us to go into
Mhm.
the forest.
That's perfect. So I have ticked down the clock, Dakota's clock, for building a stream 1 week down to 3. Gabe, while you're of course working on your thing, what you have an action to take. That is, hold a discussion, start a new project, or discover something new.
I know that they look like ladders, but they're not.
we're, we're lacking a ladder. I promise. These aren't
There's
ladders.
no no
Scarcity, new
ladders.
scarcity, ladders.
These
The whole
ladders
thing is
indicate
built
the absence of
exclusively out of
ladders.
ladders.
It turns out it's an entire structure built of only ladders. We just don't know that from where we are.
A ladder with a little circle around it and slash through it.
Stop that.
My brain's just picturing
Stop.
the second half of Metal Gear Solid 2
There
when
we go.
imagining this structure.
I never actually got into the playing the Metal Gear Solid games. I know that I would love them because like I enjoy the game director very much and his like flavor in doing games. I just
He's very
Mm.
good.
it came I feel like Metal Gear Solid came right before my like adult appreciation of video games. And so I haven't
Fair.
like gotten back into it yet, but it's definitely on my list.
Very good stuff. Recommended.
Oh, and I'm supposed to
Yeah,
do
you've got
something.
discussion, discover something new, or start a new project. I've got new project boxes up that are unfull right now, just in case.
Okay. I'm gonna start a project. A group of citizens. I think they are like the local herbalist and maybe the alchemist, or whoever are feeling the most scientific experimental research minded, are going to journey to the edge of the jungle and collect samples and see if they can find anything useful. Maybe there's a resource here that currently remains untapped.
I love that. I love that.
Nice.
So, how long do you think it'll take that group to do this research and get back to our community?
This is a 3-week project.
3-week project. So we're gonna have 2 projects finishing up in 3 weeks. I love that. Lots of stuff happening for our community. I drew a shitty ingredient and the number 3 in this box.
Got a lot of irons in the fire.
It looks like a Mickey Mouse head on a stick.
It does. It does. Or
What?
just
Those do
a
grow
chode.
on stalks.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, that's your ingredient. Sweet.
I was just gonna draw some glasses with an arrow pointing towards the jungle.
That you absolutely can. I don't know if us doing research is on. I just wanted to do a little thing so I wouldn't forget which box goes to which. I mean, they're both at 3, so it's not like it particularly matters, but that's more for me keeping up with our timers. You're welcome to represent glasses looking towards the jungle on the map for sure. Lily, roll us a D13. 13.
Nice.
I just typed roll 13,
Oh.
not D13. And that, oh, there we go. 5.
5.
Oh, roll 13. That's really funny.
Does.
There is a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Or alarming weather patterns destroy something. How and what?
Oh no.
I like this.
Man-made structure. We'll never know what it was.
Lightning strikes the whirlpool temple and completely disintegrates it.
I'm actually going to go with the disquieting legend on this one.
Okay.
And the disquieting legend is that the structure on that triple island stand is a temple for the enemies of the whirlpool god. trying
Mm.
to stop the whirlpool with
Wait,
some
so
kind of
hit me with
ritual. We
that one
can't
more time.
access it. Uh, those who worship the whirlpool believe that the structure on top of the three islands is a ritual site for stopping the whirlpool or somehow affecting its powers in a negative way.
I like that. I like that. So
What's the disquieting part of this?
It's disquieting to them. They don't
Fair
want the
enough.
whirlpool they worship to stop.
yeah, I mean, maybe the while the amount of faith might be a scarcity, but maybe it still is commonplace that everyone like sort of like in our society, like being Catholic or Christian is just like commonplace.
Mm.
It could just be commonplace that like we are worshipers of this, but that doesn't mean that our faith is high.
Sure.
I guess
I get
we
that.
are aligned with this religion, but it doesn't mean I guess if we are worshipers, our faith is higher. But
Yeah, I think if there's a high proportion of whirlpool worshippers, then our faith can't be a scarcity.
I think less that there's a high versus low proportion, more like everyone is sort of into this, but it's just like how much like no one the typical person doesn't do anything about it. They just believe in the worship or they
Yeah, how
believe in the
often do you
whirlpool god.
actually like go to church, but you still call yourself a Christian?
Mm.
How often do you actually go to Whirlpool Church? Like, not that much, but you hear the whispers in the streets. You know that it eats children if you do bad
If a
things.
foreigner
So
comes to town, we are whirlpool worshipers, but if I
Mhm.
talk to my neighbor like, "Oh, I missed Whirlpool Church this Sunday." That's okay.
I really want to go to Whirlpool Church on Sunday.
that sounds so fun.
So I guess it's disquieting that a legend has it that there is an opposition, I guess, to Whirlpool Church up here on this structure we can't get to. Something opposing the Whirlpool gods.
They say it's
Makes
the
sense.
anti-whirlpool church.
Yeah, the wave pool
It's like a
church.
hurricane up there.
It's the reverse Whirlpool Church. It goes the wrong way, and it would create a water tornado.
It's waterfall. The hurricane church. Oh my god, it's the hurricane church.
Rather than water going down, it's air going up. It
Yeah.
can't be more opposite.
The sky whirlpools.
Sky whirlpools. We don't believe in hurricanes. We just believe in
I
sky
live in Sky
whirlpools.
Whirlpool Alley.
The whirlpool will protect from hurricanes.
Uh,
It cancels them out.
That's right.
perfect. They hit each other. We have to learn how to hit this whirlpool with a hurricane to get out of this cove. Lily, do you have a project discussion or something new to discover?
Looking at everything we've got going on. Um, so I did have this idea. Okay, I remember. Um, there's a group in Boros
Mhm.
that has gotten the idea to start experimenting with uh fucking keeping things hot. Uh, the thermodynamics sounds like way too complicated of a term. Um, but by weaving many layers of steel flax on top of each other, due to the non-conductive nature of it, they're hoping that they can create something that can basically maintain the temperature of basically like a building that you could keep warm or cold, whatever temperature is inside, kind of,
Oh.
Hmm.
or like even a box. Like, just they're working on making this material and designing it.
Yeah,
Making
a
installation.
material. Yeah, an insulation
Mm,
material out of this flax.
Figuring a way to, yeah, insulation was the one of the terms that I forgot of the many.
Of the me always, me always. How many weeks
So
do you
yeah,
think this will take our community to discover
the
or two?
goal of this, the thing is, like, the concept exists, and I think the main goal, it's not to build a specific thing or to discover it so much, but it's to kind of establish the means of production for it,
Okay.
so that it's something that we can experiment with, figure out how to work with, and start making in at least small batches is kind of the goal. So I think, especially since we have it available in abundance, I'd say this is probably a 3-week project.
Okay. Okay. 3-week project as well on this. The other two tick down to 2 weeks. I will update as we go. Oh, I see. You're helping me. I appreciate that.
I was doing my best,
No,
being a good citizen.
that's great. That's great. Sweet. So that is Lily's turn. On my turn, I will roll a d13. Again.
They roll.
Of course you didn't. 7. All right.
Ooh.
Pull up spring, zoom in. Where does everyone sleep? Who is unhappy with this arrangement and why? Or natural predators, what natural predators roam this area? Are you safe?
Mm.
That's interesting. I have a thought about projects, which we're getting a lot of projects going in our community, but I have a thought about projects for our sleeping situations already. So I think I like the idea of what natural predators roam this area. And what was the second part of that question? It was, are you safe? That's interesting. We haven't talked a lot about us keeping ourselves safe from like what is happening directly around us. We're definitely safe from like outside sources. So I think I'm gonna go predators. And it's definitely up in these hills. The hills have uh bu- 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 panthers. There's panthers out in the hills, hill
Oh
panthers.
fuck yeah!
And they roam in packs out here. They're not solitary predators here. They, I mean, I think it's obvious why they're here because this is the only water hole that we have found. So we're not like we don't not get how there's panthers here, but it is dangerous for us to go get water, I think, and we have to send the right amount of
Mm.
people. These are my panther eyes up here in the hills.
Oh, I like it.
They're watching.
Dakota's sitting here like, you could have told me this before I sent a bunch of people to dig a trench.
We
Well,
didn't
Warn
know.
them.
they were more rare sightings. I think honestly then with actually that's a good note. I think that they were more sightings until we started to dig this trench and then we started getting like almost it's almost like the lashback right from these animals not wanting us to disturb this water source. Are we safe? I think that we are good at loud noises, and that has been our best thing, but I don't think that we are like safe. I think if we were to actually get attacked, that we don't have a ton of defenses right now. We don't have like
Mm.
weapons. We don't have besides the flax, which is good and helpful. I think that a panther can probably get through it if tackled off our feet and try to gnaw on
Yep.
us.
That's what I was about to
So
ask. Is, could they chew through the flax steel? That's kind of
yeah, I think
relevant.
maybe what we've learned with this new Panther attack is that the flax steel is really good for like the force of a hit, but like if you were like the Panthers, if they bite into it and then slowly compress, they like break through those fibers.
It's like
It's like
plate armor.
woven, so the teeth go right through it, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we are safe when we're loud, but not. I don't think that that is actually particularly safe. From the
It's like
Panthers.
it's like plate mail. It's
Yeah,
really good against like bludgeoning stuff, but not so good against slashing or piercing stuff.
Yeah, I think our biggest weakness is the piercing here. And I think I am going to. Ooh, let's see. These are ticked down to. Oh, Control Z. These are ticked down to 2. Before my turn, make sure I do this before I forget. And then on my turn, they'll be ticked down to 1. So I'll just tick them down to 1. And this one will be ticked down to 2. Please select the whole 3. Oh, I don't think I can. Yes, I can. Cool. All right. So 112. I think I'm gonna discover. Man, no. The thing I think is most interesting to me at the moment is. So we are here. We've come here. I don't know that we are sleeping in much more than tents right now. I think that's a big bonus of our community being focused on this. Insulation, and the community
Mm.
member is seeing that the more do I don't know, like invention minding parts of our community begin working on this insulation, the ones who are a little more left out of that actually begin working on the buildings that this will be used to insulate. So first we're going to start with, I think, like long houses for everyone to be able to sleep in, right? We're talking like communal style long houses.
Hell yeah.
That I think will also take us 3 weeks to build these long houses. We know how to work with the materials in this area, so I don't think we're too worried about that. I think it's just getting the work done. I think our community is stretched a little thin right now.
Mm.
And actually, by saying that, our community is stretched a little thin, this will probably take an extra week because we got a lot going on. So 4 weeks to
Don't
build
worry,
these
the
long
ditch is
houses.
almost done.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Lots of our community is about to be freed up. And that is the end of my turn for longhouses. Back to the top of the order, Dakota. Roll us
Are we still in spring?
We are still in spring. We're gonna stay. Some of the seasons have cards that will end them. Otherwise, I think we go through all
Oh,
13. Yeah.
Got it. 6.
6. Okay.
Are there children in your community? If there are, what is their role in the community? I feel like I answered that one already. How old are the eldest members of the community? What special needs do they have? Ooh. How old are the eldest members of the community? Well, I would say that the eldest members of the community are probably somewhere in their like 70s to 80s. We don't
Okay.
have like a ton of like healthcare, medical care, but maybe we're just a really long-lived species in general. And the special needs that they have are they need to if they go too long without hearing music, they start like losing their passion for life. We're in part a
Honestly,
species.
same.
we're in part a species that gets some kind of like energy or like divine inspiration from music. So, and the eldest members of our species need it. It's almost like it becomes almost an addiction for them by the end of their lifespan.
Interesting. So we're a very musical community.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this. I like this.
Would we call music then
Ooh.
an abundance or a scarcity?
I would say it's an abundance for now.
Music is always an abundance. Instruments could be a scarcity, but people exist. Unless you're in the town from Footloose, people don't make music. Have you seen
I like
Stomp?
music as
You
an
can make
abundance.
music out of anything.
I'm just updating some notes as well in the notes about the Hill Panthers. Cool. I like that. I like that. So music is very important to our community, and by the time we reach old age, it almost seems like a necessity along with food and water.
We become physically addicted to music.
Hmm.
Relatable.
Oh, I like this. Okay. Uh, so first we're gonna tick down project clocks. That is first the project clock of making this fresh water source. So talk to us about how this plays out for our community, Dakota.
So we finally kick off the last bit of like barricading and fortifications on the river. We've planned out how the water is going to go down and reach the actual settlement. Um, and I don't know, Chief Architect Myra breaks out the last dam sort of barrier blocking it, and then a small stream, not quite big enough to be a river, but makes its way down towards the village.
Oh, beautiful. I'm gonna add Chief Architect Myra.
Cool. Then I don't have to.
Chief Architect Myra added to names. Loved it. We have a little river going out to the coast. Did we actually clear that river all the way to the coast?
I've my thought is that it makes its way to the coast eventually. We didn't necessarily like build a path for it all the way to the coast, but it just
We
takes the easiest path to the ground.
Yeah, definitely.
Logically, we might have, just because it's heading directly towards our settlement at first, and you
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
want to
true.
run it into.
Yeah.
It kind of like goes down and goes
Everything we
around,
worked
so
on.
that looks diverted.
It's all gone. And the second project to click off would be the discovery of ingredients in the rainforest. So Gabe, talk to us a little bit about how that sits for our community.
Okay. So, good news and bad news. The good news is that we have brought back from the jungle a species of hardy, fast growing bamboo
Ooh.
that can be used as like a swift material for construction, for ships, for dwellings. We have an abundance of sturdy construction material. The bad news is that we also found we tried, you know, master herbalist Trevor, um,
Hey,
really strictly instructed everyone not to bring them back, but they definitely brought them back anyways. They are these they're like cat-sized toads. And they breathe out a smoke that lets you lucid dream.
Ooh.
And so the first sort of evidence of this was people who were on the research team like have these toads in their dwellings. And I think the negative on that is that like that can sort of substitute the music need, but you much more quickly get like stuck, and it's sort of like an opium den effect where you're just constantly preferring to lucid dream
Damn.
rather than do something.
yikes. So that's a bad toad to pull back. I mean, bad toad for the community, I guess. It's good for some of the individual members.
People love their narco toads.
The
Narco
dream has
toads.
become the reality.
So that's all our project clocks. We've ticked down the flaxseed project to 1 and the housing project to 3. What do you have, a project, a discovery, or a discussion to house?
Um, I would like to discover that some of the hills have a fair bit of like malleable clay in them that we can sort of like mine and quarry out, which makes building some of our longhouses a little bit easier. So our houses become like a mixture of like adobe and like wood as well.
Hmm. I like that. I might argue with that with the discovery of that. That might click our housing project down a week because we
I
have a
would say that
closer source of
that's
of
fair.
this project. So I'll click that down. I mean, I guess. Oh wait, I already clicked it down 1 week, but with the discovery of that, it'll click it down another week. Do you want to introduce those veins to our hills?
I'm gonna make little mine entrances.
Perfect, perfect. That'll click our housing down to 2 because we have a new abundance, really. Okay. Then on to Gabe.
All right.
Why don't you roll a d8? Yeah, and I'll tell you which one. That's 7, so that would be Spring
It's a
Queen.
queen. What is the most beautiful thing in this area? Or what is the most hideous thing in this
Oh
area?
no.
Interesting.
Ah, okay. Okay. Um, the most beautiful thing in this area is the singing of of names are hard. Um of Olaf the Sand Boy. Uh yeah, he's a boy. He plays in the sand. I don't think he's got any close relatives in the community. But one day he started singing as he was building his sandcastles, and it was discovered that he had the most beautiful singing voice in the whole community. It was the most beautiful thing anyone had ever seen.
I love it. I love it. Olaf the Sand Boy. Okay, so we have this beautiful singer. Project Clocks, actually. So before that, Lily, the community has come together with this flax steel and learned to make insulation. How does that sit for our community?
I think that there are there are groups who were convinced that the insulation wasn't going to work and that testing it was going to be a big waste of food. And being proven wrong has not made these groups any less disruptive.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of there's some reactionaries abound, but
About maybe if
uh,
if we've wasted our time on this project, even though it seems to have worked.
no, they it's more that they had made the claims that this project would be a waste of time, and upon being proven wrong, they just kind of had to double down those kind of reactionaries.
I
Mm.
see.
So we've
Okay.
got some of those about in the city,
Okay.
uh, but it does seem effective, and we're able to produce it at a pretty stable rate given the how abundant the flax steel is.
Cool. Cool. I like that. I like that. And then yeah, Gabe, discover, start a project, or host a discussion.
I'm gonna start a project.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Lots of projects cleared out.
the the Church of the Whirlpool um, thinks that through the power of the narco toads, they can directly communicate with the whirlpool and find out what it wants and how they can best appease it.
Oh wow.
This is incredible.
How many weeks of narco toting do you think that's going to take them?
Just one.
Just 1 week of narco toting.
I would
I've
say
been
two.
micro-toting.
I would say two, because not many people have faith in the Great Whirlpool.
Okay. Okay. Then 2
Less
weeks.
people got to trip twice as hard.
That's
2 weeks
um,
then.
exactly.
2 weeks of narco toting in search of enlightenment.
Sweet. Okay. We'll find out if they reach enlightenment in 2 weeks.
God.
Awesome. Lily, roll me a dice. You can roll a D8 or a D7.
D7.
D7
is a
5, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 10
1,
of spring.
10. All right. There's another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart from you? Or what belief or practice helps to unify your community?
Oh God.
The belief that the Whirlpool people are dumb. No, I actually could by there's another community somewhere on the map. Does that seem to imply that there is a settlement somewhere on the map, or would like a scouting group fulfill that, do you think?
That's up to you.
I think that is up to you. I mean, that scouting group comes from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So my question would be, I think at that question, where does that scouting group come from if you go in that direction? If that is part of our observance as our sort of over the head view. We could have definitely just come across a scouting party. If you like that idea. Then I just, yeah, as a player question, where do they come from? Which maybe is not an answer we have right now, but that's just my question.
So I'll go a different direction. I think over here.
And let's see, what was this? I just want to reread it from a shelf. There's another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart from you? Cool. Yeah, that doesn't even mean we have to know about them.
Oh my God, it's the hurricane people.
On the opposite side of the jungle is actually I'm not sure if there's a term for it, like a kind of a trade city,
Okay.
a place where a lot of different communities kind of tend to come together and a lot of traders visit and all intermingle and such. They've got very popular bazaars. We are aware that they exist there because some of their traders have made the trip around the jungle to come to our small settlement, but usually they don't bother swinging over here because there's not enough of us to be worth their time. And we know we can't go through the jungle, and going around it's a bit of too much of a struggle for us most of the time.
Okay. Okay, I like that. So a good trade city just out of our reach. And that would set them apart from us for sure. Ticking clocks down, we have sleeping
War
houses.
project.
I think that honestly, our sleeping houses, with what how focused our community has been, I do think the sleeping houses go well. We have new resources, we have new like we have that new insulation stuff, we have new clay to speed up the time. I think that um it might have even brought a little bit of that disquieted folks to a heal when they realize that they have really nice sleeping houses to actually rest in. It's no longer tense. The wind is no longer ripping through their walls at night. They can sleep soundly and with the insulation warmly. And so I think overall, I think community morale has been up at the complete of that project in the following days. Yeah, is that what those circles are?
I just realized I shouldn't have been putting something on for your thing. I
No,
apologize.
I truly don't mind. I liked the circles. They're gone now, so I'll put them. I'll just put them back. I like that.
It's
Um,
all yours.
yeah, and then that would be the clock. So then Lily, discover something new.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, perfect.
So, um, late in the middle of the night, one of the shops on the dock was destroyed
Hmm.
as a ship
Our only doc. No.
it missed the dock, but it hit it kind of ran aground on shore nearby enough to at least take out like one or two small buildings.
Mm,
So this ship drifted in from off sea with its sails still down and the ship mostly burnt and nobody on board. It is
Hmm.
a giant military ship, and it is very clear that there has been a sea battle somewhere nearby, and that it ended badly for someone. We haven't explored and seen what's on the ship. I don't know if there's anything on the ship. It's probably burnt to a crisp, but just kind of a situation that we're now aware of.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. All right.
And I'll say that we can see more smoke on the horizon,
Hmm.
as if there's definitely more destruction than just the one ship that we actively can make out.
mm.
Okay. Okay. Rolling a d6, that would be a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts me at 9. Spring 9 is. A charismatic young girl convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her endeavors? Start a project to reflect. Or a charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful or dangerous activity. Why does she do this? How does the community respond? Interesting. A charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful or dangerous activity. Why does she do this? How does the community respond? She is a part of a family who is really deeply into this whirlpool religion, and as this ship runs aground, many of the community members uh talk about how it obviously came in from further off in the sea. We can see some smoke, but this girl actually starts a group of folks, pulls a larger amount of people together than the community would think that she would be able to in so fast a time, to worship this ship as a gift from the whirlpool gods. And that is I think it's interesting to the community because the way that she does this is by turning it she and this group turn it into a shrine. And so many of the community want desperately to break down this ship, and like look through it, see what's on it, what can we get for resources. But they want to use it as a shrine. And I'll say, because it says sinful or dangerous, they want to send it back into the ocean. Um, they want to show their, I guess, love of the gods by returning it back from whence it came, to show that we don't need this. Dangerous. I don't know. Is that dangerous? How is that sinful or dangerous?
Oh, someone's got to drive it, right? You can't
Yeah,
just put
yeah,
the boat on autopilot.
they actually want to start a thing uh in order to get the ship to sink in the whirlpool. And there is a large portion of the community kind of getting behind this, more freaked out about where this boat came from, I think. So yeah, that's starting a little bit of strife around the boat. I think I'm going to actually hold a discussion for our first time. So just as a reminder, the way discussions are gone, I as the discussion holder can either make a statement or a question. If I make a statement, that's all I have to say for this discussion, and then everyone gets one response. If I ask a question, everyone has an opportunity to answer to that, and then I get to close out the discussion with a
Mm.
final bit. We don't have to come to terms. We don't have to agree with anything said. This is just my, I guess, in my turn, my way of saying the community wants to focus on the situation. So the community comes together, and research assistant Chorch comes forward. Chorch worked pretty heavily along with master herbalist Trevor. He's Trevor's research assistant, and Chorch wants to ask the community, do you folks really think that our best way forward is to put our backing behind these psychotropic toads?
Did we do that, by the way?
I don't know that we did.
What? I thought
Were,
you brought
were
the
the
toads.
whirlpool thing? Were the whirlpool people? Were the whirlpool psycho toads supposed to
Oh.
go off?
They were supposed to go off at the end of right before I guess I host this discussion. So we'll reverse that in case that needs to
Yeah, because
change.
Project Ice is before action.
Yep. So then before I do that, Gabe, whirlpool cult, psychotropic toads, that might change my discussion or what I do. How does this sit? The whirlpool cult has been pushing for these toads. Did they connect with their god?
They say so.
Good.
They say that their god came down to them in a pillar of water, and spoke unto them and said unto them, return upon that which I've given you, and you will be blessed. So they think that the obvious answer is to make this shipwreck just seaworthy enough to get to the whirlpool, and then all get on board, and go out and join their god.
Ooh, ship all about.
The girl, I think with that, the girl in the community are on the girl in her community of ship lovers are on board. So I think that's a larger portion of the community than we would want now on board with drowning themselves in a whirlpool. Awesome.
They're not drowning themselves. They're going to meet their god. He's got a great spot planned for them. There's bouncy castles and everything.
Sorry, that's what I thought I had said. It must have come out differently.
The whirlpool is also made of Kool-Aid, as you find out on a closer inspection.
You have to drink the whole whirlpool.
Delicious. It's not salt water at all.
Okay, I think my discussion still holds true. Chorch comes forward and says, "Do we really want to base the forwarding of our community on the effects of psychotropic toads?" Now everyone has an opportunity to make a statement in response from our community.
I will say Chief Architect Myra is gonna speak up and say, let these whirlpool fools do what they will with the broken down ship, and they are clearly deranged toads. We have roads to build, we have people to meet, we have houses to establish for our people. Those of you who have still of sound minds, I encourage you to help me build a road to meet these people in this trade city we've heard of.
You also don't have to name an NPC that this is coming from. I had, and Dakota had picked up on Myra that he had made. So
Never mind.
no, I like that it's Myra. It kind of it lent some brevity to what she was saying.
Even if we wanted to stop them from doing this, do we have the right to force them not to? Like, are we gonna put them in jail? Like, how even if people agreed with this statement, how would we go about stopping these people? Let's be realistic for a second. Like, we would have to violate their rights.
Okay, Lily.
Jert, who is one of the lumberjacks in town, actually,
Fuck yeah, Jert.
it got just really excited at this idea of a road to the trade city, because his first thought is, fuck going around. We went to the jungle and nobody died, so let's cut a path through the jungle. I'll lead the way. I'm fucking Jert, okay? I can handle this jungle. It's got nothing on me. Jert don't need no shirt. He'll
Jert don't.
just take him down in one swing, okay? Jert's got this.
Quick question, not like a end of the discussion, but just sort of about Jert. Was Jert part of this expedition, or did he just sort of assume, based on the fact that no one died, that anyone can do this?
Jert's a brave man, but Jert's not a dumb man. He's not going to no cursed forest until he knows nobody's dying.
So he's just making an assumption. I love Jert.
Here for Jert.
Chorch closes the discussion by saying, I recognize that we shouldn't force them into staying with us. I would just like you all to think about the percentage of our community willing to drown themselves in a whirlpool and where that will leave the rest of us. And the discussion draws to a close. And that is the end of my week. And we're on to Dakota.
All right.
So we have 5 left, so you could roll a d5 to make it just easier.
There you go.
5, that would be the King of Spring.
Oh, I'm trading. I'm trading with Lily. I don't know what that was.
Wait, what?
I was trading cards.
Oh.
A young boy starts digging in the ground and discovers something unexpected. What is it? Or an old man confesses to past crimes and atrocities. What has he done?
Interesting.
I'm going to say that a young boy maybe even Olaf the Sand Boy starts digging in the ground and uncovers a diary of someone who used to live in this settlement. And in this diary, they talk about the whirlpool god and how it's calling to them, and that one day, in the last entry, it talks about a broken, nearly burnt down ship that looked like it had been in a massive battle, sailing into the cove and arriving on the shore. And the villagers were deciding what to do with it.
That's so fucked. I hate that Olaf has uncovered this, but I love it. That's terrible.
And it's clearly like years old as well. Written in a language that everybody can understand. but it is clearly from another time.
I love that. I love that. Incredible.
All right.
Yeah.
We don't have any projects going at the moment,
We
huh?
do not know.
No, we're really
All
just
right.
wasting our time. We're just faffing around.
Discovering a bunch.
We're just fapping around. I think I'm going to start a project. Chief Architect Myra is going to start the project to clear a road through the jungle along with Gert.
Jerk.
Sorry, Gert. I apologize.
Everyone knows Gert doesn't do anything. Gert isn't tired of being compared with Gert.
I mean, fair enough. Gert's a tough role model to live up to.
Jerk couldn't chop down a twig.
I'm going to say that Gert is also maybe not the best lumberjack, and that it's probably going to take 6 weeks.
He was just really excited.
And that Myra and the rest of the women builders were like, "Wow, this would have got a lot easier if we had women lumberjacks instead of just Gert we brought."
They literally only brought Gert because he was so damn excited.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
starts every day off trying to flex his shirt off for 20 minutes, but he can't quite do it.
So there's a big old 6 on that in our little road. Sweet. We begin a road. Gabe? D4? That would be the 3 of spring.
3 of spring. Someone new arrives who, or 2 of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provoked them? I mean, it's going to be the second one. 2 of the younger members of our community are going to get into a fight right now. So for the past week or so, Olaf and the charismatic young girl who has been given the moniker Becca of the Spiral have been spending long nights in like a private dwelling discussing this book that don't put those quotes there.
Disgusting.
They're talking about the book and what it means. But last night they had like a fight. And not just the 2 of them, like their followers got into it as well. So it wound up being sort of a scrum between some of the Church of the Spiral and I think some of the older folks who all sort of adore Olaf and couldn't bear to see him injured. And I think the result of it is that the book has gone in the kerfuffle. The book has gone missing, and no one will fess up to who's got it.
Oh no, that's such an important book. What are they doing? We literally found out that's the way we're gonna die, and you guys are losing it. Oh my god.
I don't know. We don't know if we're losing it or if we're just not going to tell the community who has it
Right.
Someone's got it. Like it was there at the beginning of this fight, and it's not there at the end of this fight. So someone in the fight picked it up. Was it Olaf? Was it Becca? Was it someone who was just there to spectate? Who's to say? But the book is missing.
That's interesting. It
was definitely Gert.
He just wanted something to read while he's working. He has no actual other motivations.
He ran home from the jungle to grab that book and then head back.
I ticked down our project clock of a road. And now Gabe, start a new project, discover something new, or hold a discussion.
Okay. I'm gonna start a new project. It's gonna be a a 2-week project. The Church of the Spiral is fixing up the boat, the shipwreck on the shore.
To send
They
out for the
are
whirlpool.
they're using I would have said a 3-week project, but they're using the fast growing bamboo to patch the holes and like refurbish the deck and stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take this boat out into the open water, but it'll get them to the Great Spiral.
They're not going far.
We'll see them the whole way down. Great. All right, they're starting a boat. That'll be ready or they're repairing the boat enough. That'll be ready in 2 weeks. Lily, roll a D3.
Oh,
That'll be the Jack of
3.
Spring.
That's a good one.
You see a
Oh,
good omen, what is it? Or a bad omen, what is it? I'm between a couple. I think that late in the middle of the night, like 1 or 2 a.m., every other week, which is why it's taken so long to notice. Who knows how long this has been going on for? 9 flashes happen from the structure out on the islands. Just small flashes of light. It's too far away for us to make anything out, especially because it's pitch black out other than that little flash of light, but
Yeah. In your
something's happening there.
point of view, is it a good omen or a bad omen to our community?
I think
It's like, how do we take it?
that we're a hopeful community. I think we see it as a good omen.
Cool. Cool.
I don't
Okay.
know if that means that it's good.
No. I think that this is just really how we see it. That could turn out to be terrible. Okay. I'm taking down these project clocks. Would you like to start a project, discover something new, or hold a discussion?
I would like to start a project to dig a switchback trail back into the quarry.
Mm.
Easier access to the rocks.
Since we're currently unable to access it.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a bunch of panthers in between us too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that first of all, it will probably take like 6 weeks because it's stone we're digging down through. But on the plus side, I do think that well attaining this access will probably get some amount of the stone out of it as well during the process. So
Get
that's
some
I like that.
resources as well, yeah. Okay. Real quick before I do take my turn, I just want to do a quick checkup on our abundancies and scarcities. Do we think we have any new abundances or scarcities going on? Fresh water, I would say, might have been pulled off of scarcities, but I guess that makes it an abundance. I don't know if we are in abundance of fresh water.
We could just eliminate it from the list of scarcities.
Yeah, it can still just be an important resource. It doesn't have to be abundant or scarce.
That's true. Do we have any new scarcities to add? Currently, Boatstone, which we're working on taking care of, and our faith in the Great Devourer are in
We're
there.
I would
working
say
on
that
just
that is
tanking
probably
to
higher
0.
than ever at this point.
I feel like we may have actually an abundance. There have been many positive omens.
That's true.
I don't know.
Um,
We're peaking, but it's about to bottom out.
We're
So
also,
sell.
I
we'll
feel like the
see.
settlement is deeply divided on the Great Devourer.
Yeah, divided, but I would definitely say that faith is probably up. Like those that are
Oh, for sure.
worshiping, there's more
Can we say that
people
we have
actively
an
worshiping.
abundance of faith and an abundance of conflict?
Mm-hmm.
I would
Yep,
say
I
that we
would
have
say that.
abundance of conflict right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we have an abundance of building materials.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because, like, we
I mean, we
have
have the
that
bamboo.
clay, we have the bamboo.
Getting stone. We got water.
Yeah.
We jamming out.
We jamming out indeed. I
Oh, and
edited
flag.
scarcities.
Already forgot about it.
Abundancies, music, steel flax, building clay, love that, and now faith in the devourer and conflict as well.
People will lose
I've
their
I've updated that.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Love that. Okay, cool. So now my turn. I will roll a d2, either the 4 or the 8. Flip a coin. 2, 8. Okay. So spring 8. An odd piece of machinery is discovered broken, but perhaps repairable. What is it, and what would it be useful for? Or an old piece of machinery is discovered cursed and dangerous. How does the community destroy it? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to lean into the abundance of conflict on this one for what I'm going to say, and say that old piece of machinery is discovered cursed and dangerous. How does the community destroy it? And that is that it is a piece of stone and crystal tech that washed ashore near the flat piece of thing we can't see up, right? Near that structure, someone found this piece of stone and crystal machinery that seems to move independently. It is a little crystal orb with these stone rings that spin around it. They seem to stutter a bit, like whatever this is built of or whatever it does is sort of broken when we find it. But the people that find it are those that worship um the whirlpool cult, and they're the ones that more get their hands on it. I think several members of the community find it, so the whole community knows about this weird object from the structure. But it goes into the hands of the Whirlpool followers, and they do their basic ceremonies at the Temple of the Whirlpool, where they drop their things into the currents. No, we'll say that they put it on a little raft and just push it out to the whirlpool. That's what they generally hope, is that things will get out there. The boat, they want to put more focus on. They want to go down with their boat, but with this thing, they just do their normal sacrificing it to the whirlpool. They put this little piece of machinery on a raft and they drift it right out to the whirlpool. And I think that probably increases the conflict. There was half the community that really wanted to break this item down, and the other half that said, like, no, we're on the right track, we don't need distractions. And yeah. All right, we're going to tick down clocks. We have the boat clock. The boat is ready. What does that mean for our community, Gabe?
It means that we have a boat.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it means that they're probably prepping to get on said boat.
Yeah, I think I think the thing that I would say is that they're gonna try and convince as many people as possible to join them on this boat.
Okay, so it's not
Um,
like an immediate leave. It's like a now we prepare to leave.
yeah, it's sort of there's a proselytizing that's gonna happen now. Sort of a combination of music and toads that might sort of Pied Piper some people onto this boat.
Okay. Okay. Um think I'm going to discover something new. Um in our building of this road to the jungle, some of the builders were using this specific mine to house themselves in over the course of some evenings. And in doing so, they discovered like one of the walls in that mine collapsed, leading to an underground system that seems to be connected to the other mines. We don't really know what's down there. There's this huge underground system that seemed to be blocked off for whatever reason, and we discovered that, and that is, I will put a note somehow.
Did it seem like a man-made wall, or was it like a natural wall?
I'm gonna say it seems like a man-made. It seems like it was blocked up by no, yeah, no, it seemed man-made. All of this seemed man-made, including into these tunnels that we find. They seem like hand dug. They're not like perfectly smooth or like come to
Right.
corners in walls, but they all seem hand dug.
Bro, this place is cursed as fuck.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on we don't know. It's gonna be like a little chicken foot coming off this guy. And that is my turn. So Dakota, the last card goes to you for our spring, which is spring 4.
All right. What important and basic tools does the community lack? Or where are you storing your food? Why is this a risky place to store things?
Conflict resolution is the tool we lack.
I'm going to say that we were storing food in like just like a kind of like classical era granary. Just like a bunch of like grain and like dried salted meats and stuff, all huddled up in there, like breads and stuff in there too.
Isolated.
Insulated, of course. And it was risky because there was no security on it whatsoever, despite the rising tension in the community. And one night, the Whirlpool cult stole into the granary and absconded with the majority of the food to take on their newly refurbished boat.
Oh no.
Ooh. Okay, this tension is
The
rising in our
Whirlpool will
community.
provide, you fools.
Give us throw us a granary wherever on our
Oh,
town
yeah.
this was. And then we
And make sure it looks like a granary distinctly. And
Yeah,
not
I
like
need, I
any
need to
other
know it's a
building.
granary and not just another silo.
All right, this is a lot of pressure that I wasn't necessarily expecting when I said a granary.
If this looks like a fucking stockpile, I swear to God.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
The road ticks down to 4. The switchback trail slips down to 4. The road slips down to 2. And after you're, of course, done with this granary, new project, discover, or discussion.
I'm gonna say we should have a discussion.
Okay.
And with the most of the sane people having left to go build the road at the same time that all of this other stuff is going on, the people that are still around that don't believe in the Whirlpool cult think that I don't even know. A bunch of people are super angry and say the Whirlpool cult should give back all of the food that they stole. to the community that they're abandoning.
Interesting. There's a gruff older townsperson that says that until they do give it back, they will not see another ounce of community camaraderie from the elders of the community. The elders are basically going to turn their backs on these people entirely, including the time in which they are here before they leave.
Becca of the Spiral steps forward and says, I wholeheartedly agree. There's no need for food where we're going. The whirlpool will provide for all of our needs. It has been spoken, so it shall be. Those that stockpile food, and especially those that steal from our landlocked brethren, are only doing so out of an expression of cowardice, and I full-throatedly disagree with this practice.
Lily?
Went Diggler, a local preteen,
Whit Diggler, local preteen here.
who is absolutely inducted into this cult, says, but clearly, my dad says that this isn't going to work. So you're not going to disappear anywhere. But if you put a bunch of food on the boat, the whirlpool will be happy because we gave it food. So I think we should just let them have the food.
Oh,
And then when
Went.
they die in the whirlpool will like give us stuff.
Went needs to get educated. That's not part of the discussion. That's just M from the outside. Went
It's a
needs
lot
to.
of mixed messages coming out of the whirlpool church hierarchy.
Imagine that.
There's tension
Imagine that.
within any religion, you know?
Drink the
It's
Kool-Aid.
true.
No. Wow,
I can't believe the
tension.
whirlpool cult does not have a unified message.
Hey,
It's almost like they're all
this
working in
Kool-Aid
different
is grape
directions.
flavored.
They're just
Come over
circling
here.
around the same
Come over
subject.
here. You don't want that cherry flavored Kool-Aid. You want this grape stuff.
Uh,
All right. Gabe, I think, right? That was
Yeah, I
Dakota's turn.
believe
That was
so.
Dakota's just
Can I take
Does
a
anything
brief
happen?
break to go get some food?
No, this is perfect because we
I was gonna
just
request a quick
finished
bio.
spring, so we'll be entering December. Go grab food. I'm gonna run to the bathroom as well. This is a perfect
Okay,
time.
cool. How long are we anticipating going tonight, by the way?
So this is our first time doing this. We're still trying to learn flow. We're just
Because I'm
entering.
having a ton of fun, but I will have to go to bed at some point.
Yes, of course. Oh boy.
Usually don't go past midnight, but I also don't think that we'll reach an ending by then.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say like let's pitch for like another hour 15, try to get through summer and see how fall is taking us, and then maybe we could just, this is still a project we're just getting off its feet, so if we want to come back and take it again until we're as
I
a
will happily come back another time too to finish this
For
up.
sure.
I'm
I
having a
love
ton of
this
fun.
so far. This is really fun.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I think we can at least finish summer before we have to break and swing.
cool. So yeah, let's take like a bio break. You grab food. I'm gonna take a little walk around,
Awesome.
then we'll come
Smoke
back in
on
summer.
porch.
Cool.
anyone is here and enjoying the live, I want to appreciate you folks for joining on in. This is our first attempt at the domains. The first maybe hour of this was our setup, right? That will decrease each following episode, especially of course when we come back with Dakota and do another play here there. That will be, you know, of course, set up much faster. We already know what game we're playing. It probably won't be next week. It won't be next week for sure. Because of schedules I already know, I am aware of, but we will come back and continue this domain, continue this iteration of Borous, and see where it goes, what it does, what it gets up to, how this community continues throughout its fall and winter. But of course, we're about to dive right back into summer, and see what goes down there. With wet bones and treasure, I took a walk. Let's see if there's any more notes I should add. We have creating a creek to run fresh water to the community has angered the hill panthers living in the area. Do you remember that? Lumberjack Jert. Man, these are some good characters. This is some good stuff so far, y'all. No one is here to hear me say that except for you folks in the audience, but this is some good stuff so far. I'm really enjoying this game.
Stop.
How's it going? Just adding some notes to our thing to keep up with what we got going on.
Mourning the loss of my headband.
Did it snap
Just
or did you just lose it?
the piece fell off here.
Ah.
Came disconnected.
Oh, the ear? That's the worst.
Yeah.
What a headband to lose a piece. Like, there's two pieces. You lose one, it's very noticeable.
Right.
Very noticeable.
Gave me an excuse to buy a better one though, which is on its way. So that's exciting.
Okay, good. Like, better in quality or better just
Yeah,
like better
because this was
vibe?
just like the first thing I saw off Amazon because I wasn't sure if I would feel cringe wearing it or not.
Yeah.
TBH.
The test. You got to do the tester run before you like
Yeah.
spend money on a good one of whatever it is.
But it made me feel really cute. So I got one that it can like fold, so you could do ear up or ear down kind of
Oh,
thing.
that is adorable. Like a little, I imagine
Right.
probably like some metal inside that's bendable.
I think so.
Very cute.
Or
Very
like
cute.
a plastic, like a measuring tape kind of, where it's
Yeah.
just got the shape that makes it so it can be bent, but
That's really
holds
cool. I like
rigid.
that. That's a cute set of ears. I don't think I've Well, no, I was going to say I don't think I've seen any that do that, but I don't know that I've ever looked at any close enough to know if they had done that before.
Fair, yeah.
But knowing changes things because now when I see them, I can just imagine like if they're down, like I know what that's about now. Maybe that's not just a down set of ears. Maybe they're down for the moment. Very
Yeah.
cute.
Had to find one like that because Jackie said that if I was a dog, I'd be. She found this specific picture of a little black and white puppy with one ear up and one ear down.
And now, so you gotta be able
I'm like,
to
I guess
emulate.
that's what I have to go for.
This is the dog.
It's like I don't know if I should feel complimented or insulted. It's cute, but it's also dumb looking and small.
You know, one of my first ideas when we were drawing this edge of the map was to, like, when I discover something cool, it'll be the eye of the turkey that we have on our map, and then never got around to it. I've just been enjoying everything else in the community, and I forgot thinking about it as Bird Island.
It's engaging. As much as like, I was never really worried about this one, but it's a mechanic that would put me off of most games, it asking me to draw.
Mm.
Like in any other game, pretty much I'd be like, I don't like doing that. It makes me uncomfortable. But like even the description of this, I'm like, this just sounds like a really fun game, like building off of the map, basically.
Yeah, to me
So
it felt like we're still using the kind of the RPG skills that we use every week already. It feels like we're doing the same roughly kind of thing, except instead of dice, it's a card to make that random thing happen. And it feels like it takes the place of what we would use dice for. And that I think maybe helps it feel a little bit different. Yeah, I
I
agree.
like
I
that
agree.
it feels just as rewarding and plot progressing to do bad things for the community as good things.
Mhm.
Like especially as a person, like I've never done the evil run of BioShock. I don't care if it's a video game. I'm not gonna murder a bunch of little girls. All right, it makes me uncomfortable. I can't be the bad guy in video games. I cannot blow up Megaton in Fallout 3. I feel bad. I really liked the sheriffs.
That's a reference, man.
I like
That is a
So
good reference.
I like here, yeah, that
yeah.
it's not like you are being the bad guy, but it's like bad things happen in life, and this is reflective of like just the flow of good and bad.
You need conflict.
Yeah, right. I mean, if the
I
community is succeeding at every single turn, it is a little. The question more becomes like, why are we focusing on this community at all?
Yeah. Kudos to Gabe for single-handedly being the villain of this entire settlement.
Hey, I
You
tried to
know,
bring a war to our shores.
the big
It got
thing that
turned into Gabe's
I think
machinations.
about this game is that there has to be at least one person who's throwing in a faction that may not actually be helpful to the community surviving this thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
And
like that a lot.
as soon as M threw down that whirlpool, I was like, people are gonna worship that whirlpool.
Perfect. All right, Gabe, roll us into summer.
Roll us into summer. First roll of summer. Does anything happen? Just for my own curiosity, anything happen in the transition between spring and summer?
I don't think
Everyone
so.
dies.
Let me open this back up.
It's a really hard game.
It starts getting really hot outside.
That's the worst.
Read, work on projects, starting projects, hold discussion.
The heat's
resource
fine. It's the humidity you got to watch out for.
content, pacing. No, I think we just move on. There's no like. I don't even think there's a section for changing seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. For the edits, I'll probably go in and add like a little fun,
Cool.
thought out blurb about the changing of seasons for our community, but
Is it a problem that I'm eating during the recording, by the way?
no, we snack.
Don't chew into your microphone.
Yeah, I mean, of course, wait till you're
Exactly,
done
yeah, don't
chewing
do that.
to talk. There was one or two recordings where I got more into the playing D&D than doing a podcast at some point, and so like I would be chewing while talking, and then I noticed that in the recording and have never done it since I had to listen to it once.
One of my favorite clips of like all the D&D that I streamed on my channel before I stopped. Uh it's like such a good clip, but I hate going back and watching it because I'm eating sunflower seeds like during or not some I think it's just cashews. But I'm just casually like in between sentences like popping one into my mouth and chewing it and I'm like talking with my mouth full and I'm like this is such a funny moment and I'm ruining it.
There's always something good to ruin the best of moments, I feel. 2.
Okay, 2. Someone new arrives. Who, why are they in distress? Or someone leaves the community. Who, what are they looking for?
I wonder what it's gonna
I
be.
wonder who left the community. People ready to leave the community.
Okay. Someone new arrives. Someone new arrives. They are brought back by Jert's second in command, Gert. Um,
Added.
and second in command is, huge air quotes there is just sort of Gert follows Jert.
Gert says he's the second in command, but Dirt does not agree.
But to be
No
fair,
comment.
nobody put Jert in charge.
No one put Jert in charge either. It's true. He's just there. But anyways, Gert comes back from the Jungle Road expedition. Someone has stumbled out of the jungle. They are I was trying to think of like an interesting reason. Um, okay. Um, they are in distress because the fire trees are coming into bloom.
And do we know what that means?
That sounds horrific.
No, we don't because they pass out after they say that.
Do they have burns on their body or recognition of any sort of event having happened? Scuffs, scrapes? Or are they just exhausted?
They're malnourished, and I think there are like burn holes in their clothing.
Okay. Cool. Love this. But they're passed out.
Not big ones, like they're quarter sized, and there's bunches of them.
Did and then second question, sorry, did Gert bring them back to the community, or are they still at the like camp outside the jungle?
No, Gert brought them back to the community.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
with this news.
Love that. Okay, cool. So we'll have to tend to their wounds. I have ticked project clocks down. The road is going to finish next turn, but nothing this turn. New project, discovery, or a discussion?
Let's look at this map real quick.
This map has a lot going on it. I'm loving it.
I'm here for it. We're not even close to being done.
I feel like it helps that we're all yes and people.
This game is all about like yes anding, even if it's if it's against, that's like the fun about the contempt token. It's not even a no but, it's like a I don't know, but I'm gonna say yes and I have to, but I don't know.
Someone I know in this town wouldn't like this.
Yeah.
Okay. What was her name? Gotta go find her name again. That's not where it would be.
Myra?
Okay. I guess it's gonna be Trevor. I didn't want it to be Trevor, but it's going to be Trevor. Trevor is bored of not having stuff to do, research to do, and so he's setting off on a new expedition. This expedition, he's going to go to the tallest hill, and he's from that vantage point. He thinks he should be able to see what's up on top of this platform. We can't see it from the beach; it's too tall. But what if we go to a tall place? Then we might be able to see what's up there.
Do we have do we have any ways to see far? Is telescopes or binoculars just a thing, like a tool, like we have one, even a tool we have, or is this just he hopes he can see? I'm just curious.
You know what? He's produced a spyglass, and he won't say where he got it from.
Cool. So he's trying to study what he can see up on the thing. How long do you think this project, I think you said, will take?
I'm gonna call this a 2-week project.
Pretty short, yeah. Pretty short. Okay. Sick. Next up would be Lily.
It me.
I would just stick with rolling a d13 for now,
Yep.
which you've done an 8.
8.
Gabe had rolled a 2.
Someone
You'll do actually
tries.
an 8. Yeah,
Huh?
sorry, never mind. Ignore me.
Okay. All good. Someone tries to take control of the community by force. Do they succeed? Why do they do this? Or a headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion, start a foolish project.
Ooh. None of our projects have been foolish up to this point. They've been very serious.
Looks at toads.
Drawing spyglass.
Looks
I mean,
at
this-
hallucinogenic toads.
Really feels like it's
We can also build whatever we want. We just got toads in the bargain.
I think that the cult leaders have announced to their followers that the ship will be done in 2 weeks. And that's our foolish project, is that's when
Like they're
The ship's
leaving
already
in
done.
2 weeks.
Oh, okay. The packing of the ship, because the ship is already
Yeah.
complete. That was its own
Yeah.
project.
like because everyone's been kind of debating when they're gonna go, whether or not like the project could be that they're deciding to go now.
No, I like that. I like that the project is basically
We're
preparing the
leaving
ship.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm gonna draw a big hand waving goodbye. Okay. And on, I guess right before that, so don't let it influence your thing. The road to through the jungle is finished. Dakota, what's up with this road through the jungle? We know about fire trees now, and I guess a community may be existent in there. What goes on with this road?
It cuts around, or I guess it goes through this little crossroads here, and then it cuts through the ever reigning, once thought impenetrable jungle, and makes it to the trade city. And once there, we don't have anything really to trade besides like a couple of like dried meats and stuff like that. But we make some good connections, and people are happy to have new people here. Although there's a couple of like translation issues. They keep telling us that we come from like a dark and cursed land, something. But when our interpreters are saying that we're not understanding that phrase correctly.
Interesting. And do we, through our trek through this jungle area, did we see anything or recognize anything about the fire trees, or is that still just like a random thing some guy said?
I don't think we've found them yet.
Sick. Still a mystery. I love it. Awesome. Cursed land. Sick. What's that about? We'll never know. Uh, Lily, you started your waving goodbye silly project. Now it's the end of your turn,
Well,
though. So,
yeah, now I get to start my own project because that was part of
right,
the card draw.
right. Or
Or,
discover or
or
discussion.
yeah. Um. Okay, we're gonna go with discover something new.
Oh, what could this be? Boats.
Boats.
We discovered boats?
Coming in from the area where we saw fire earlier are at least 3 military ships looking for their lost ship because they saw one go astray.
Started a project and countered a project. The project. I
Not
love that.
necessarily.
No,
It's
right.
just there's gonna be a conflict over this project. That's why I
Are
wanted it to be 2 weeks, because I don't want it instantly done, but I want it to be fast enough that there's panic.
Yeah.
have we seen people on these ships yet?
No, but they are actively sailing. You said we have telescopes, right?
We have one
So-
spyglass that he produced out of nowhere.
If we use that for sure, we're like there's people on the decks just like any other ship. They're not hiding or anything.
Cool,
The
cool.
spyglass isn't in town.
So maybe the
this town.
ships. Yeah, I mean your dude has the spyglass. He's using it.
Trevor's got it.
Maybe the ships are just sort of kind of stationed off the edge of this coast, trying to pick out what's going on. While they're looking for their ship. Summer, we already took down clocks. So then I will roll a D13, no 8s, no 2s. 13. Oh no.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my
Wow.
god. Summer is fleeting. Discard the top 2 cards off the deck and take 2 actions this week. Okay, so I will mark this.
Roll
I will
twice,
just
I guess.
yeah, that feels so roll D13. That's a 1, so no ace. Roll D13. Nope, that's nothing. Roll D13. Roll D13. Fuck you. One more try. 2. Okay. Nope, already done. All right, so we have 1, 2, 4 done. So roll D9. 1, 3. Okay. So ace and 3 are removed. For Summer, and then I take 2 actions this week. Wow, Summer is fleeting, huh? Okay. My first action, let's see. I want to start a project. One of the matriarchs of the community, Plamandra. Plamandra wants to get a bunch of folks together to go down in these mines and figure out what's down here, why they're mined out like this, what's really going on with this area. But we are not cavers. We are not. We are above the ground people, and this makes them nervous. So I think this is going to be a 4-week project for Plamandra and crew to discover the caves.
Felt like a a dad in an 80s movie talking to his son. We're not we're not cavers. We're above ground people, son.
Yes, exactly
It
that.
feels like a Pixar movie for sure.
But dad, I want to dig.
Oh no.
Cave. This is hard because I feel like, and it would be 1 week either way. We're gonna do a discovery then with the other one, and we are going to discover a.
Have the project clocks tick down before you take all these actions?
They haven't, but they will be down to 1, 1, and 2. The 4 I just started after that, so I didn't think about it. We discovered a just off this path that we built, that we went through. We discovered a tree with these large fruit like objects. I'm gonna say that of the crew that found and ate them the first time, half of them got pretty sick, and the other half didn't. And we have there's no indication as to who and why they got sick. They just did, and they're like, I don't know, these purple oblong fruits, similar to like an eggplant, I guess.
Hey yo. Eggplant fruit?
Eggplant fruit.
Egg fruit?
It's gonna look like an grapes.
Egg fruit
and
plant.
That's what they are
Egg
now.
fruit plant? That's good as well.
Cool. So that's the egg fruit plant. Half the group got sick. We don't know what's going on with these fruit or how to eat them properly, I think. But we found it. The project clocks I will tick down, but that is the end of my turn. So Dakota,
Oh.
if you want to roll a. What did I end up rolling? A 1? I already marked off that.
D8, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it would be a
I
D8.
rolled a 1 as
1,
well.
so that would be a 4. The 4
Why
of summer.
is my D1 have a weird thing around it?
I don't know. Maybe
Do you
because
see
the
that?
D8 is an actual dice and the D9 isn't?
Oh,
Maybe
must
that
be.
would just be my only thought.
That makes sense. All right, so I got a 4, you said?
Yes, the 4 of summer.
The eldest among you dies. What caused the death? Or the eldest among you is very sick. Caring for them and searching for a cure requires the help of the entire community. Do not reduce project dice this weekend.
Oh.
Hmm. Well, I'm thinking the eldest among us is very sick. Caring for them and searching for a cure requires the help of the entire community. So we're not going to reduce project dice this week. And we'll say local old lady Samantha caught a really horrible flu from probably Jert, I'm guessing, coming back from the jungle. And it required basically everyone, as she was nearly singing her last notes on her deathbed. It took everybody. It took Trevor coming back for like a day with some of his like healing medicines. It took I don't even know. Some of the whirlpool cult people brought some nice smelling fish from the sea to like stir her back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually her flu was cured. But it did mean that everybody lost a week of doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, rough, but at least Samantha's still around. Not deceased. I did write deceased next to her name, but she's not.
She's alive.
Just old.
Just old. That's all.
Cool. Deceased
Um,
changed to just old.
and then I'm gonna say I don't feel like we should start any new projects right now, so I guess I will introduce something new or discover something new. Um, we'll say that someone out near the the flax steel, has built a a like like a mill to quickly make armor out of the flax steel. Um, so they've begun producing like uh, flax steel tunics and pants and stuff like that to act as armor for a very rudimentary militia. However, this person is a very vocal opponent of the Whirlpool cult, and so won't give any of these armaments to the Whirlpool cult.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. That's an interesting discovery. Was it an abandoned? Because it's a discovery, right? Did they discover a way to do this process, or did they discover like an abandoned?
I'll say in the mines nearby some of that like machinery that was found, or maybe they even find some machinery in the mines. One of the things that they find is like a automated spinning wheel,
Mhm.
which quickly turns the flax steel to a armor sort
Yeah,
of
like a
substance.
fiber.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, cool. Sweet. That would be that turn, Gabe.
I'm rolling a
D7.
D7. Okay. Oops. 6.
The Jack of Summer.
Predators and bad omens are afoot. You are careless and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who? Or predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? Do not reduce project dice this week.
Oh my god.
Don't let them leave.
It's a bad time to leave, guys. There's so much going on. The Hill Panthers are acting up.
Predators and bad omens are
The
afoot.
Hill Panthers are the least of our worries right now.
Um. Hmm. Okay. Um. Jert goes missing in the walled city.
The walled city.
Uh,
Oh, in the
whatever
like
the
the big trade city over there?
yeah, yeah. Um, no one knows what happens to him. What happened to him? The only clue is that a dead rat was found in his bed.
In the
Someone
walled
turned
city.
Jurt into a rat and killed him.
Wholly possible.
Wait, was a rat found in his bed back in the community, or was a rat found in his
No,
bed where he was staying in the city?
where he was staying in the
Okay.
city.
Okay, cool. All right. Is that projects clocks don't decrease?
No, that someone goes missing under ominous circumstances.
Right. Okay. So we have several project clocks to decrease. Gabe, I think first up would be the monocle clock.
Oh yeah, he was the other guy I was considering having go missing.
Be a wild time for him to go missing.
It would be a wild time for him to go missing. Okay. Um, Trevor comes back. But Trevor comes back different. Um, the leader of this expedition, the one
Yep.
to go peek at the thing, he comes back different. He is no longer able to communicate with the community. He seems to only be speaking gibberish. Um, he's wearing like a hooded cloak when he comes back, and when when he's confronted in private and they like throw back the hood of his cloak, he now has compound eyes like a bug.
Mm.
However, he did make meticulous sketches of what he saw um through the spyglass. um and his sketches include a drawing of a what looked to be skeletons dancing around a large piece of stone,
Mm.
Mm.
like a 40-foot piece of stone, like a big rock
Mm-hmm.
up on top
Interesting.
of this platform.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. But he has compound eyes and speaks gibberish only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lily.
He does bring the spyglass back though, and it does have the same symbol on it as the flags on the boats in the harbor.
Oh, okay. 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 Lily, the boat is packed and ready to go. How does this play out?
Um, where are the other ships currently again?
I mean, it looks. I don't think.
'Cause I drew them out there. I don't know
Yeah,
if
no
we
one's
feel they've
really.
gotten
I don't
closer
think
in some
that.
way.
I think because no one's really talked about them in a month, that they have been stationed off.
That's
I
just
mean,
chilling.
it's been about 4 weeks. Yeah, so they are stationed off in that harbor, just seemingly keeping an eye on us. Maybe that's more ominous than anything else. I think they can obviously see their ship in the harbor, probably, right? They know their ship is there, but they haven't come in to get it. So maybe that's a little bit more ominous, but
So this ship leaves in the middle of the night with a bunch of food on it, of course. Takes off, and just before entering the whirlpool, fire is lit on board. Just probably someone celebrating. We can't tell from the shore what exactly was going on, but the other three ships noticed it, and one of them started moving towards it and also entered the whirlpool, which has eaten two ships. The other two ships could see the third ship go down because of the lights on it, but weren't sure exactly what caused it because it's the middle of the night
hmm
and they hadn't been that far south to really notice the whirlpool.
hmm
But they're not going to head that way because clearly something's over there. And
okay,
of course, by morning, they see what's happened and see that their other ship's gone and they depart
okay.
for now.
So this paid off. We've lost a chunk of our community.
I would say we probably have a scarcity of food now.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Oh no. Trying to select all these things to get them deleted is interesting. Does someone want to update our scarcity to include food?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, so while I'm working on that, Lily, if you want to roll for us for your turn.
I did. It is a 2.
2. That was on a D13. Oh, hey, roll a 6, a D6. It'll just take us too long to find a number.
I think I just put 62. 67.
A 45. Okay.
96.
Yeah, what is that
You
one?
just count through over and over like eating my 1.
Oh yeah, look, Dakota, that was the shape of the dice beneath it, because now it's a square, so like the D6.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right.
That would be this 5 of summer.
5. A project finishes early. What led to its early completion? Or the weather is nice and people can feel the potential all around them. Start a new project.
The 2 projects up currently are the
Oh yeah,
Switchback Trail, which
did
we
we
didn't.
update those?
We did not. We didn't take that one down. The Switchback Trail has 1 week left to reach the stone. The cave exploration has 3 weeks left. Perfect. Thank you.
Where is this cave exploration happening?
It's this little chicken foot beneath this mine. Let me get my little
Gotcha.
this
See.
little guy.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
mine.
It is the mine. I mean it was my like entrances into the tunnels. I hadn't really gone much past that because that's how big it
Totally
is.
makes sense. I definitely thought it was a crossroads outside the mine.
Oh, that's okay. It's a crossroads under the ground. It is. It's exactly what you thought it was.
The road building is what uncovered the mine in the first place.
So I'm going to suggest that in this wonderful weather and this beautiful bright day, some people decided that since half their community just sank into the sea, they'd like to go a little further inland and just kind of chill in the plains and such. So a few of them set out to explore this kind of upper peninsula.
Yeah, yeah. And is this for like new living, trying to move the community in this direction?
Looking for either a place for an additional settlement or finding an existing settlement or a source of resources that we need.
Okay. How long do you think that will take our community to explore?
Uh, Honestly, like maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they're just looking around. Oh, you got it. Perfect. Project clocks tick down then, because that was your card. So the switchback trail completes. That's also your thing. So how does that sit for our map and our community?
Uh, that happens after you draw your card.
Yes, which you just did with making that project, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. It's I was because we had just talked about updating those, so I was confused. The switchback, uh, very nice. Goes very well. Super cool and awesome. Gonna draw.
And that gives us good, easy access to
Boatstone.
Boatstone. And that boat down there.
True.
I don't know if there's any materials on that boat. Lily, you put that boat there in the beginning. That's one of our boats, right?
Yeah, that is an expedition we sent out, and they did not come back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, they did.
Not how we wanted them
They
to.
sure did.
Okay. Then it would be my turn. No, wait. No, now you get to start a project, discover something new, or host a discussion.
Um, I think. mm, Yeah, and actually, it's a good time to discover something new since we actively have an exploring party.
Yeah. Liz.
I think that while they're in this upper peninsula, it's not something they're going to stop at, but it's something they're going to mark and report back about. Uh, they find right about here is an elevator.
Hmm.
Oh
Just
shit.
a just a lone standing elevator with in the middle of a field. It appears that it might go down.
Where else would it go?
Probably not up.
Up.
I mean, maybe though. What's up there? We don't know.
Well, probably, I guess.
We didn't know there would be an elevator here. This is wild. Okay, I like the discovery of an elevator on that expedition. No fucking clue what that could do. I got a 2. The 7 of summer. Pull up summer. 7. Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map. Or an unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it and how does it go awry? Oh, is it interesting? An unattended, yeah, I'm gonna do unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it? How does it go awry? And that will be the Panthers, the Hill Panthers. Our community has done nothing to think about
Nothing.
them, and it to us seems as if they have grouped together more than before, and they have no. You know what? I'm looking at the same spot on the map. The water. Unintended situation is problematic and scary. What is it? How does it go awry? It is our access to fresh water. We built this creek, not realizing that this still freshwater lake up here didn't have an infinite reserve. I mean, not really thinking that it wouldn't have an infinite reserve or any feed source. It has started to run dry. Our creek is running significantly lower than it was before. I mean, and I guess it ran awry because we've done this thing. We've diverted the flow of water unnaturally, and now we're running even lower on fresh water than we were before, which becomes a pretty big problem, I think, for our community. We go into sort of rationing water, um,
And
the
food.
and food. Yeah, I mean it's all important at the moment. I'm gonna start a project. I had this idea on Lily's turn, and I'm really excited for it. Uh, Jert. No, he's gone missing. Damn it. Jert and Gert both messed up. Uh Bella is an explorer. She was on the road building crew. She's back in town. All is well with Bella at the moment. Bella has decided to she's been super intrigued by what happened to Jert and the drawings in Gert's journal. Gert's journal, I think it's hard to remember them apart at this point in the journal.
I
And
think is this Trevor?
Trevor, right. Okay. Okay.
Jert
Yes.
Trevor's
is
still
also
around,
missing.
right?
Trevor's around, but he's not super useful.
Not super useful right now.
Neither
Bella
is Jared, to be
is
fair.
neither is true, to be honest. Bella is inspired by this, and she pulls together an explorer kit and treks off to personally see what is atop this structure. She has what she thinks is enough material or gear to cross to those islands and climb. She is one of our, I'll say, better explorers. So missing her, while she starts this crew, what she's doing is leaving her work in the mines. And so the mine stuff won't tick down this week because their main explorer has left to do her own thing. It's going to be a ladder. Oh no. Well, now it's going to be this ladder. God damn it.
Beast and height pilled.
I'm going to refresh the roll 20. That shouldn't affect anyone else but me. Boop, 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 boop. And that will take her, I think, 3 weeks. She's self-exploring. It's kind of close to town. Yeah, 3 weeks. The
What is
rest...
this pink guy down here?
I don't know.
It's the wizard hat of prophecy.
Oh
Obviously.
shit! Oh no!
I think that might
I
be a
forward only.
mistake from something, maybe.
I
Can't
cannot
grab it, so it's not mine. My
Interesting.
hands are clean.
Not the big axe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll work on removing that. But the other clock will tick down before she does that, which is Lily's exploration is down to 1 week. Man, these mines have got nothing done on them since they got started. All right, Dakota.
All right,
You're
let's
up.
do it.
Roll a d4, it looks like.
I rolled a 1 every single time.
The 6 of summer. At least it's the 6 and not...
That's true. We've rolled a lot of 1s. Outsiders arrive in the area. Have we done this one before?
I think we've talked about outsiders having arrived. Like Lily's thing had some strangers show up.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
just
it.
me discovering something new.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Outsiders arrive in the area. How many? How are they greeted? Ooh, all right. One day on a very like misty and foggy morning, the 2 ships which sank into the whirlpool reemerge and begin sailing towards the cove. But the people on them, while they still look like your friends and family, have skin that's like slimy to the touch and like almost mucus covered, and their eyes are the same sort of compound eyes that Trevor has. And as they approach, he's like standing at the shore, almost waiting for them.
Oh my god. Oh my
Um,
god.
And this includes the second boat that sank down beneath the waves as well. And then what are the other prompts for this?
It's either why are they a threat and how are they vulnerable, or how many and how are they greeted?
They are a threat, and and they're a threat because they each carry weapons, and they're the ship that was just kind of like built up to like barely make it to the whirlpool is now fully outfitted with cannons, and like nets and harpoons and stuff like that. Each of the people on there carry like almost a scaly kind of chitinous armor, um, and everybody in the town does notice that they seem to be particularly, almost animalistic. They have like a lot of human like features, particularly in the dark, but when in direct sunlight, they start to revert to somewhat primal instincts.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. You want to draw those boats, those new boats on the map for us?
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Okay, we're gonna tick project clocks down. The only project clock to happen this week would be Lily's exploration. So how did that? They found an elevator. Did they find anything else out there? Or how
I
did that go?
think that they find. I don't. I think this project ends. Should I remove this part from the map since it's an activity?
Yeah, sure.
It's technically not something that they're doing anymore, so it feels weird for it to be part of the map.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially because I think that yeah, right up around here.
Oh wow, that's north. Is that a volcano?
So basically this is a hole, and these dotted lines are what the exploring team that fell down this sinkhole can see of an underground cavern system that they have fallen into.
Mm.
Interesting. Another underground cave system. Do they notice any similarities between that and the kind of systems that we have found around our place? I guess we haven't finished
Not
our research on
necessarily,
these
they're both
systems
very
yet.
cavey, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's very interesting. I like it. And then project discovery or discussion.
We'll start a project, and I would love your guys' input on how long it takes. But um, we'll call him uh, Ty. I don't even know.
Tiberius?
I was gonna say Tiberius. Yeah, let's go with Tiberius. Tiberius, who's the industrialist that reopened the flax steel factory, for lack of a better word,
Mm-hmm.
um,
The
is going to
Flaxery.
try to arm and armor everybody in the village to protect against the fish people, the fish
Mm,
bug people.
love it. Love it.
I don't know how long that would take, though. We don't have as many people anymore, but it's
I mean,
it's a big job.
I feel like if we're manufacturing this, I feel like we're manufacturing this like by the sheet.
Yeah.
Because we're using this for like building insulation. We've got an influx of the crop. So I feel like we're making it a lot of it. It's mostly who knows anything about making clothing and how long that takes. Because I think the materials probably created
Mm.
fast enough.
I feel like with what we have set up, we've found the manufacturing plant. We are well versed in flax steel. We already use it and have processes for at least insulation. I'd say like 2 weeks.
Cool.
I mean, I think community conflict also, while talking about that, community conflict has probably also gone down in abundances
Oh
to
yeah,
a
probably.
scarcity. Faith has probably also gone down to scarcity. Although
The
faith
really
probably
faithful ones
had
all
gone
died.
down, but with the emergence of the boats, how does our community sit with that now? Does that make the people who didn't go
I guess
concerned or faithful?
We missed Rapture.
we'll have to have a discussion.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I'm gonna move conflict to at least scarcity for now. Cool. And now we are outfitted, and that will take. Did we settle on 2 weeks?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Gabe,
I'm
roll
rolling
a
a D3,
D3. Yep,
a 3.
that would be the Queen, Queen of Summer.
Project finishes early. Which one and why? All right.
I'm adding the
So I
clothing.
see this one with the cave. This cave is we're exploring the sinkhole.
No, the cave explorations is actually we're
Not a
exploring
project.
what we have found over here, the cave system that we uncovered
Ah,
here.
that cave system. Okay. And then we have the clothing to the bug people and
It is a ladder to check out the structure.
the ladder to check out the structure. The project finishes early. Which one? Why?
Turns out ladders are easier to make than I
Turns out it's all
It's
ladders.
just an H over and
especially
over.
especially with our infinite supply of bamboo.
And steel-like reeds we can use to
Yeah,
secure
true.
everything together.
The project ends early of the exploration of the structure,
Oh.
and it ends early because the structure explodes.
All right.
GG's.
I don't. Yep, it explodes, and in its place is a large cloud that appears to be growing. It's not moving, it's just growing. And it's also been seen that the moment that this structure exploded, the ships with the bug people diverted their course and they are now headed towards the cloud.
Okay. Okay. Project clocks tick down. That would be the cave system. What they have found in this cave system is actually a twofold thing. One is that it does in fact connect all the way to this sinkhole that was found on the other side of the island. It is a huge area underneath this island of carved out cave systems, all seemingly dug by hand. Whose hand we don't know. And here in the middle, that has led to the discovery of an underground abandoned city. Right here in the middle. Abandoned and like decrepit in a way that I think we wouldn't expect for underground cities. I think by decrepit I mean that some of the walls of the housing systems are coming down. It looks like there was some sort of fight that happened here. But without any other clues, we're unsure besides the sort of structural destruction that's been caused. But we do find that, and a lot of those members are interested in looking that way. But what I'm gonna do is start a discussion.
No.
I think I want to no. I want to ask the community. And I guess it's about faith. Seeing. Mm, where do we sit as a community, having seen these ships come from the whirlpool? Bef- Before we had not believed them, and now we are seeing this. Where do we sit?
It's went again. So I just want to say that this is a
Didn't go on the
ridiculous.
ship, went. Come on.
No, obviously not. We sent the food on the ship to appease the whirlpool god. And now it's clear to me that there is no whirlpool god. That was silly nonsense. I'm 14 now. I don't believe in all of that. And what's actually going on is that whirlpool is a wormhole. It's just travel to somewhere else. So they're probably still alive on the other side, and they have our fucking food, and we should go get it back. I'm hungry and I'm sick of rationing.
I'm hungry. I'm sick of rations.
Went's 14th birthday was like last week, by the way, and there was no cake. That's
I'm
what he's
14 in
upset.
a day.
I'll be 14 tomorrow, and I no longer believe in whirlpool gods, obviously.
I'm 14 and I'm an
Kids stuff.
atheist.
Gods for 13-year-olds.
So true base.
All right, you two?
Praise be to the great spiral.
Oh my
Its delicate
god.
curves make us
Oh,
ready
good
for the world that we don't yet know.
This community's fucked.
I mean, there's only 1 out of 4 of us who are saying the crazy things.
I said it's a wormhole.
That's true.
Yeah.
Things got wild over there from Went as well.
That's true. Went also has some notions.
Yeah, we have 2 people claiming completely ridiculous things. 1 person that's asking if maybe we should worship the whirlpool, and 1 person who is gonna suggest something different. General General Daiquiri is going to suggest we should rally our militia, go to this structure, and try to hold these ships back any way we can.
They close out the community discussion by saying, I do think we should at least see what the chitin folk have to say about the whirlpool. It's worth it to hear them out. And I guess that will draw that discussion to a close. Bring us back to Dakota for a D2 for summer. No, wait.
Hell yeah.
Didn't Gabe roll the D3?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
So why did I say discussion? Ignore all of that. We
never talked about it.
We didn't talk about any of that. We took down project clocks, and then I just said discussion for some reason. I'm sorry. I think it's because my project
Damn.
clock had ticked down, and I was like, "Oh, I guess it's my turn." So
It's my
then
turn.
Ignore that. That
That's
discussion
funny.
never happened. That was someone's fever dream. Gabe, would you like to hold a discussion, discover something new, or start a project?
I actually would like to hold a discussion. Um,
They came out of the
Same
whirlpool. What do we
discussion.
do?
uh, um, General Daiquiri steps forward, and he says,
She.
she says, if rationing can only take us so far, if we have to go through another week of this, we will have to start counting out people.
So maybe our focus, instead of this accursed whirlpool cult, should be to turn our focus into finding a reliable source of food here on the land.
And water also, yes.
And water, of course, yes.
Yeah, we have a scarcity of both, I think.
Yep.
That was my response.
Hmm. Um. Hmm. Do you have anything, Lily?
I am coming up with something.
I'll say, not Jert, Gert, who is not missing and been replaced with a rat, um, is going to suggest. I think we should probably hunt all the panthers in the hills down and eat them.
That is not a bad idea, Gert.
Thank you. That's why
Thank
I'm
you.
Jert's number 2.
Is number one now that he's gone. I
Yeah,
am
true.
Jert now.
I've been promoted.
Thoughts on food and water?
So Studebaker, the old janitor of the town, very gruff old man with a mustache,
And a mop
is
always.
leaning against the corner with his mop in the bucket. And he goes, "Thing about water always goes down. You look in those caves, bet you will find a source of it. Now that pond's run dry.
Could be
Gravity."
could be definitely watered down in the caves. I like that too. Okay. A better discussion, I think, than what about whirlpool cult again.
I'm always here for a what about whirlpool cult discussion.
I'm always here for developing wind.
I want food. Says Gert,
He's on
please
a
give me
journey.
food. All right. Lily, roll me a D2.
Flip point.
2. So that would be the 10 of summer.
You discover a cache of supplies or resources at a new abundance, or a scarcity has gone unaddressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate that scarcity.
Lots of projects have gone.
Yeah, we've done that. Um,
I'm going to move
I think.
Boatstone to abundance just because of your last project.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
I think that now it's the summer and we have a road through the jungle that we're taking regularly. Uh, what we've discovered is that there are berries that grow on the thick bamboo in the summer, deeper into the forest. It doesn't grow as much on the outskirts, so we hadn't noticed it before and we'd been afraid to approach. But now that we're crossing through, we're noticing that only in the summer these berries seem to grow, and they are very nutritious, very filling, and don't seem to be poisonous as far as we can tell so far.
Better than the eggplant fruit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So then draw an abundance of that on our map and we'll add bamboo fruit to our abundances. I like that. I like that.
Bamberries.
Bamberries. Cool, cool, cool. Project clock ticks down, and that would be everyone is outfitted. How does that sit with our community as well?
um, it means that the hunters feel a lot more confident going with Gert, famous smart man in the community, um, along with his plan of hunting down the panthers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. Our community gears up to focus on hunting panthers. Okay. Then
Hunting
Lily,
panthers.
panther. Discussion, discovery or project.
Um, I'm gonna start a project to explore in the tunnels towards the sea. Yeah.
Just the
Towards where water be.
so like explore the tunnels for water.
Well, heading like towards the ocean, like that direction rather than inland like we were exploring last time when we stumbled across the city.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I like that. Search for underground water. Okay. How many weeks do you think that'll take us to explore?
Um, I'm gonna say a solid 4 weeks, just because I think uh they're gonna be like having to pick their way through some of these tunnels because I doubt all of them are gonna be clearly open and accessible, and they might, you know, wonder if there's water nearby because there's droplets, so you've got to check areas.
Yeah.
So to be thorough.
Thanks for the overground my water.
This, I was just about
Underground.
to say, this symbol is really good.
Now we know. Because the previous one was just water. So now we have ground above that we know. It's underground. Perfect.
We're making a well in the least convenient way.
Looks like I get the last card of summer because our summer was short. A project fails, which one why? Or something goes
No water.
foul. These sorry, where's that 9? Something goes foul and supplies are ruined at a new scarcity.
Oh God.
Berries are addicted and we've run out.
I mean, honestly, that actually feels kind of right because, like we said, these bamberries grow in the summer, and this is the last card of summer. So as we go
Oh
to get
shit.
another stock of these bamberries, we realize that the harvest. I mean, we found them, and within a freaking week, they're already dying off as like a whole crop. So immediately, food back into scarcity. Um, which it is already still in. The seeing that the bamberries are dying off and that really in this forest the most thing we have access to right now and hopefully seemingly into fall would be these like eggplant fruits. I'm going to
Egg
start a
fruit plants.
project, the egg fruit plants, right? We're gonna start a project with all the stay-at-home dads back at the camp to learn how to properly break down, process, and eat these fruits. And I actually don't think that's gonna take a long time. Now that someone's like actually focused on it, I think that like 1 week, like legitimately with the community working together, it's not going to take them long to learn the proper way of eating this fruit. Is it boiled? Is it, I don't know, deskinned? What is that for this fruit? I don't think it'll take too long.
You only really have to bite into a kiwi with the skin on it once before you go, oh, that was incorrect.
Yeah, right. Half
Okay.
of your community gets really
Written
sick
down.
once, and you're like, we'll figure out how to do this just right. And that is the end of summer. So I think that is a good time for us to call this a pause.
Yeah.
And we will plan another session. It can't be next week because Gabe is specifically out next week because of travel. So yeah.
Next Tuesday. So we're thinking Tuesdays.
Tuesday is generally, at least we already all come together, the three of us, to do our normal sessions on Tuesdays. The
Cool.
beginning of this kind of was like, if someone drops, this is what we could do that week, and then
Sure.
also bring in guests. So I mean, I would like to finish this out before we move on to any other projects or anything.
Sure.
So maybe in 2 weeks, 2 Tuesdays, we can come back and do this. Try to push this again.
28.
Sounds good.
Yes, yeah, that would be the 28th.
Oh, no, yeah, I should be available then.
Okay.
Cool.
Going on vacation the weekend before that, but I get back on the 27th. So.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Cool, yeah, if that we'll stay in touch through a message of some kind just in case it doesn't work out, but we'll plan for the
Well, we
28th
do have
to
this nice group here.
finish this out. Yeah, exactly. We do have this now nicely made group, so perfect. Thanks for coming to join us.
Yeah, of course. It was great fun. I've been watching your guys' D&D streams for a while now, and I've been listening to a couple episodes of the podcast as well. So great fun to be here and hang out.
Sweet. Yeah, it was great to have you. We were sort of chatting beforehand
you.
about doing some like collab stuff between the tables. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can get
I
some
think that would
stuff set
be
up.
I think that would be a lot of fun to either do like a swap, what is it, like instead of house swapping, it's like DM swapping.
Mm-hmm.
That could be fun. Or doing, like, we've done a survival royale sort of style of stream before. We did it as like kind of like a subathon thing, which I think could be fun. Or yeah, lots of fun
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure. We'll definitely chat about how we can do just that. That sounds like a fun time.
Fuck yeah.
Perfect. Well, we will meet up again in a couple weeks and attempt this to finish out our fall and winter.
Hell yeah. The Frost
Sounds
Shepherd's
good.
come.